The Book of the Dead, Place 1, Adoration of Ra, when riseth he in horizon eastern of heaven, behold Osiris, the scribe of the holy offerings of the gods, all Ani, saith he, homage to thee who hast come as of Kephera, as a creature of the gods, thou risest, thou shinest, makest bright thy mother crowned as king of the gods. Doff to thee, mother Nut, look her two hands, the act of worship receiveth thee, Manu, look content embraceth thee, Maat, at the double season. May he give splendor and power together, triumph, and a coming forth as a soul living to see. Horus of the double horizon, to the cow of Osiris ascribe Ani triumphant. Before Osiris saith he, hail gods, all of the soul temple, yea, weighers of heaven and earth in the balance, givers of food and abundance of meat. Hail Tuatanan, one maker of mankind and of the substance of the gods, of the south, northwest, and east. Ascribe praise to Ra, the Lord of heaven, the Prince, life, strength, health, creator of the gods, adore ye him, and his presence beautiful in his rising, and at his boat shall worship thee the beings of the heights, shall worship thee the beings of the depths, right for thee thought and mad. Yea, every thine enemy is given to the fire. The evil one hath fallen, his arms are bound, removed hath Ra his legs. The sons of impotent revolt, never again shall they rise up. The house of the prince is in festival, the sound of those that rejoice is in the dwelling mighty. The gods are rejoicing when they see Ra in his rising. His beams flow with light, the countries advanceth the majesty of this god. Venerable, he arriveth at the land of Manu. He illumineth the earth at his birth. Every day he arriveth at his region of yesterday. Mayest thou be at peace with me. May I see thy beauties, may I advance upon the earth. May I smite the ass, may I crush the evil one, may I destroy at his moment. May I see the Habsu fish at his season of revolution or coming into existence, and the ant fish, and the ant boat in its pool. May I see Horus as guardian of the rudder, with Thoth and Mat at its two sides. May I grasp the bows of the second boat and stern the Attet boat. May he grant a view of the disk and sight of the moon god without ceasing every day. And the coming forth of my soul to walk about every place it pleaseth. May be proclaimed my name when it is found upon the board for offering things. May be there be placed for me offerings of food in my presence like the followers of Horus. May be made for me a seat in the boat on the day of the going forth of God. May I receive into the presence of Osiris in the line of triumph the top of Osiris, Ani. Adoration of Ra by the royal scribe, the captain of soldiers. Next, he saith, homage to thee, O thy glorious being, dowered to move armistice, when thou risest on the horizon of heaven, a shout of joy to thee from the mouth of all peoples, beautiful one becoming none at that time, and or as a disk within the hand of thy mother Hathor, rising therefore in the place every heart, every palate, forever. Come to thee the two Atir, homage they give, a shout of joy at thy rising. Thou risest in the horizon of heaven, thou sheddest upon the two lands emerald light, Ra, that is Harmachis, the boy mighty, the heir of eternity. He begot and he gave birth to himself, the king of earth, this prince of the underworld, president of the mountains of Accurate, coming forth from the water, drawing himself from new, nursing himself, increasing his limbs, O God of life, Lord of love, who live all peoples when thou shinest so crowned as the king of the gods, maketh not homage to thee, embraceth thee, Math, at season every. Sing praises to thee, those who are following thee. They bow down upon the earth and meeting thee, the Lord of heaven, the Lord of earth, the King of righteousness, the Lord of eternity, Prince of everlasting, ruler of the gods all, God of life, maker of eternity, creator of heaven, is established by him, that which is within. The cycle of the gods is rejoicing at thy rising. The earth is in gladness, sing thy rays. Come from the ancestors of cries of joy to see thy beauties day every. Thou goest forth over heaven and earth day every. Strengthened from thy mother Nut, thou travellest the upper regions, thy heart is dilated with joy. The pool of Testus becometh satisfied. Seba hath fallen, his two hands are hacked off, cuts asunder the knife, his joints live Ra and Maya, the beautiful. The secret boat draweth on it, arriveth Arrive south, north, west, east, I praise thee. O substance of the earth, the creator of himself, salute thee, Isis and Nephthys. My sing songs of joy to thee, in moments that their hands are forsaken behind thee. Follow thee the souls of the east, praise thee the souls of the west. Thou rulest gods all, thou receivest the expansion of heart within thy shrine. Knack, a fiend, is judged of the fire. Thy heart is dilated of joy forever. Is decreed thy mother not to thy father new. An adoration of Osiris, Nefer, God, great within Abydos, King of eternity, Lord of everlasting, traversing millions of years in the duration of his life, Son, eldest of the womb, not engendered by Seb, the chief, Lord of the Uruk crown, lofty of the white crown, Prince of gods and of men, he hath received the crook, and frail, and dignity of his fathers ratified is thy heart, which is in set, thy son Horus established upon thy throne, thou art crowned as Lord of Tatu, and as ruler in Abydos, become green through the earth in triumph, before the hand of Net Erterher, he leadeth in his train that which existeth, and that which not yet hath become in his name, Taher Setaneth, he towed the earth and the triumph, in his name that of Seker, mighty, is he, exceedingly and great terror in his name. That of Osiris he endureth forever and everlasting in his name of Unefer, on which of thee, King of kings, Lord of lords, Prince of princes, possessor of the earth, from the womb of Nut, he hath ruled all lands and hath earth, golden of limbs, blue of head, emerald upon both of his sides, and of millions of years extended of body, beautiful of face and past earth. Give thou splendor in heaven, light on earth, time from Nectar, sailing down to Tesitu, as a soul living, sailing up to Abydos, as a phoenix going in and coming out, without being repulsed, the pylons, all of Tuat, may there be given to me, loaves of bread in the house of coolness, and offerings in a new field enduring in Sekata Arabian, and wheat and barley. In it, to the Ka of Osiris, scribe Annie, place 3. Speech by Osiris, scribe Annie, saith he, my heart, my mother twice, my heart of my coming into being. May there not be resistance to me in judgment. May there not be repulse to me on the part of the lion chiefs. May they not make thy separation from me in the presence of the possessor of the scales. Thou art my Ka within my body, which formeth and strengtheneth my limbs. Mayest thou come forth to the place of happiness to which advance I there may not. Make distinct my name, the Senate. May there not be spoken lies against me, nearly God, good, good. Is it for thee to hear? Saith he that is in the tomb, graciously grant, O wearer of righteousness, the balance establish it. The Senate will make men and women to be in stability. Pleasant is it for us, pleasant is it to hear gladness of heart, ask the weighing of words. Verily, how great wilt thou be, rising up in triumph, to be set over a cherub of green stone, encircled with smooth metal, with its ring of silver, and placed upon the dead person at his neck, was found chapter this in Hermopolis, under the feet of the majesty of God. This it was inscribed upon a slab of iron of the south in the writing of the god himself, in the time of the majesty of the king of the north and south, Men-Ka-Ra, triumphed by the royal son, Heru-Tata, and he found it in his goings to make an inspection in the temples. When is known chapter, this is made for man to triumph upon earth and in the underworld. He performeth works, and he liveth upon things after the manner great of the god. Was found chapter in Hermopolis, upon a slab of iron of the south inscribed with lapis lazuli, real under the 2 feet of the majesty of God. This is the time of the majesty of the king of the north and south, Min-Ka-Ra, by his royal son, Heru-Tata, triumph. He found it in his journeying to make an inspection of the temples with strength with him, to make him diligent and understanding. He brought in a marvelous thing to the king when he saw the ministry, which was great, unseen, and unbeheld, shall be decided chapter, this by a person purified and washed, one who hath not eaten animal flesh and fish. Behold, thou shalt make a scarab of green stone with its rim plated with gold, and place within the heart of a person Still performed with him the opening of the mouth, anointed with unguent, saith Thoth, the righteous judge of the cycle of the gods great, who are in the presence. Verily I am justifying the name of Osiris and the royal scribe Juniper. His heart hath come forth upon the scale, not hath he been found an evildoer. Osiris, hear ye, decision this, and very truth is weighed, the heart of Osiris. Is his soul standing as a witness for him? The sentence is right upon the scales great. Not hath been found wickedness in him any, not hath he wasted food offerings in the temples, not hath he done harm. Indeed, not hath he let go of his mouth evil things whilst he was upon earth, saith the cycle of the gods great and Thoth, dwelling in Hermopolis. Decreed is it that which cometh from thy mouth, true and righteous is Osiris the scribe, Ani, triumphant. Not hath he sinned, not hath he done evil in respect of us. Let not be allowed to prevail Amunet over him. Let there be given to him cakes and a coming forth in the presence of Osiris, and a field abiding in Sekhet Hetefu, like the followers of Horus. Saith Horus, the son of Isis, I have come to thee, Unifer, and I have brought to thee Osiris, Ani. His heart is right coming forth from the balance, not sin hath it against God. Any or goddess any hath weighed it Thoth according to the decree entered by the cycle of the gods unto him. It is true and righteous very. Grant that may be given to him cakes and beer, and the coming forth in the presence of Osiris. May he be like the followers of Horus forever. Behold, Osiris Ani, he saith, I am in thy presence, O Lord of Amenetet. There is no fault in my body, not have I spoken lies with knowledge, not have I acted with a double intent, grant that I may be like the favored ones who are, saith Horus, the avenger of his father, heir veritable of Unifer. I am come to lead to thee Osiris, who, Nefer, he hath been judged in the scales, the weight of the balance resteth upon its place, about to be, and Osiris favored greatly of the God, beautiful, beloved of the Lord of the world, the royal scribe, veritable, who loveth him, Ani, triumphant, before Osiris. Play 5. The beginning of the chapters of the coming forth by day, and the praisings and the glorifications of coming forth, and going into the underworld glorious, and Hamletet, beautiful to be said, on the day of the burial, going in after coming forth, saith Osiris Ani, Osiris the scribe Ani, comes to be, ball of Hamletet, behold, Thoth, the king of eternity, is with me. I am the God, great. In the boat, I have fought for thee. I am one of those gods the divine chiefs who make to the victories Osiris over his enemies on day. That of weighing of words, I am thy advocate Osiris. I am one of those gods born of not slayers of enemies of Osiris who shut up the fiends for him. I am the advocate Horus. I have fought for thee. I have made the decrees of the prayer for thy name. I am Thoth making the Horus Osiris over his enemies on day. That of weighing of words. In the dwelling of the old man, mighty in Heliopolis. I am Tete, the son of Tetai. I was conceived in Tetetu. I was born in Tetetu. I am with the weavers. Osiris on the double land of Rakhetet, making to be victorious Osiris over his enemies, ordered it Rathoth to make victorious Osiris over his enemies. What was ordered did for me, Thoth, I am with Horus on the day of his floating, Tesh, opening the storehouses of washing, the still heart, and bolting the door of concealed things and Re-Sa. I am with Horus, the taking shoulder that's left of Osiris, and Second, I go in and I come out from the flames on the day of destroying the fiends, and Second, I am with Horus on the day of the festivals of Osiris, making offerings on day 6 of the festivals, Kemet, and Heliopolis. I am the Ab priest, and Tetetu, rearer in the temple of Osiris, lifting up the earth. I see the concealed things and Re-Sa this. I read the book of the service of the soul in Tetetu. I am the Sem priest and his belongings. I am the great chief of the work on the day of the placing of Henu book of Seker upon its sledge. I have been received the spade on the day of the digging of the earth in Susan Henan. O ye who make dance your souls perfected in the house of Osiris, may ye make dance your soul perfect of Osiris the scribe Ani. Victorious with you into the house of Osiris, may he hear as ye hear, may he see as ye see, may he stand as he stand, may he sit as he sit. O givers of cakes and beer to the souls perfected in the house of Osiris, give ye cakes and beer of the double season to the soul of Osiris, Annie, victorious before the gods of Abydos, victorious with you, O openers of the way and openers of the roads to souls, perfected in the house of Osiris, open therefore ye to him the way. Open therefore ye the roads to the soul of Osiris the scribe, and the countenance of divine offerings of God's soul, and triumphant with you. May he go in with confidence, may he come forth in peace from the house of Osiris, not may he be repulsed, not may he be turned back, may he go in as he pleaseth, may he come forth as he desireth, may he be victorious, may he done his commands in the house of Osiris, may he walk, may he speak with you, may he be glorified soul with you, none have confounded his effects there, the scales have emptied of his trial. Chapter of giving to a mouth to Osiris, scribe, and accountant of divine offerings of God's soul, and he may be victorious in the underworld. So he said, I rise out of the egg, and the land hidden may be given to me in my mouth. May I speak with it before the God great, the Lord of the underworld. Not may be repulsed my hand and arm by the divine chiefs of God any. I am Osiris, Lord of Restop, Sheriff Osiris the scribe Annie, triumphant with the being who is upon the top of the steps. I have come out of rich in my heart, from the pool of double fire I have quenched it. Homage to thee, Lord of radiance, at the head of the great house. Within night and darkness I have come to thee, I am glorious, I am here. My two hands are behind thee, thy portion is with thy ancestors. Give thou to me my mouth, that I may speak with it. May I follow my heart at its season of fire and night. If be known, look this upon earth, and be done it, into writing upon the coffin my mouth it is. He shall come forth by day in the forms of existence soul, which he pleaseth, and shall go into his place. Anon shall he be repulsed, shall be given to him cakes, beer, meat of flesh, upon the altar of Osiris. He shall go in peace to Seget Haru. So no command this of the one, and 52 shall be given to him wheat and barley. In it there shall be with him green things such as were with him upon earth. He shall perform his will like those gods who are on the road in the bound of regularity millions of times. Osiris, scribe Annie. The beginnings of praisings and glorifications of coming out and going into Neter, glorious, and Amentet, the beautiful, of coming out by the day in forms of existence all, which he pleaseth, of flying at draughts and sitting in the hall, and of coming forth as a soul living. Saith Osiris, scribe Annie, after he hath arrived in forthing voice, what hath been done upon earth become words, all of Tamu. I am Tamu, in the rising up. I am the only one. I came into existence and knew. I am Ra, in his rising. In the beginning ruled this happy. Who then is he, Ra? It is in the beginning when he rose and Sutenhenen as a king in rising up. Not had come into existence in the pillars of Shu. He was upon the height of him who is in Kemnu. I am the God great who came into existence by himself new. That is, who created his name, Hot Neferu, as God. Who then is he? Ra is the creator. Of the names of his limbs have come into existence these in the form of the gods, who are in the train of Ra. I am what after pulse is he among the gods. Who then is he to move? It is in this, otherwise said Ra, it is in his rising. In the horizon, eastern of heaven, I am yesterday, I know tomorrow. Who then is he? Now yesterday Osiris is, now tomorrow Ra is. On day that of the destruction of his enemies, of Neber Techer in it, and the appointment as prince of his son Horus, otherwise said day that on which we established the festival of the meeting of the dead body, it is of Osiris by his father Ra, when made battle to the gods, when commanded us Osiris as Lord of Amentet. What then is it? Amentet, it is being created the souls of the gods, when commanded Osiris in Seth Amentet, otherwise said Amentet. It is that it is which maketh Ra, when advanceth God any into it. He standeth and he fighteth for it. I know God that who is in it. Who then is he? Osiris it is, otherwise said, Ra is his name, or the phallus. It is of Ra when he uniteth with himself. I am Benu, that which is in Heliopolis. I am the keeper of the book, of that which is, and of that which shall be. Who, then, is he? Osiris it is, otherwise said, his dead body it is, otherwise said, his excrements. Now that which is, and that which shall be, is his dead body, otherwise said, eternity it is, and everlastingness. Eternity is the day, everlastingness is the night. I am Hamsu in his appearance. May be given to me the plums upon my head. Who then is this? Amsu Horus is the avenger of his father. His appearance, his birth, is his plums upon his head are the going of Isis and Nephthys. So place themselves upon his head, they being in the form of protectresses. They provide that which shall wax his head, otherwise said, a tooth awry. Great exceedingly are they upon the head of their father. Plate 8. Tanu, otherwise said, his two eyes are his plums upon his head. Riseth up Osiris, scribe of offerings of gods, all Ani and triumph in his land. He cometh into his city. What then is it? The horizon it is of his father. Tanu, I have made an end of my failings. I have removed my defects. What then is it? The cutting off of the corruptible matter it is of Osiris the scribe. Ani, triumphant before gods, all driven away are the defects, all which belong to him. What then is it? The purification it is on the day of his birth. I am purified in my Dublin-S, great exceedingly, which is in Sutanhenan, on day that of offerings of the people to God, that great who is in it. What then is it? Millions of years is the name of the one, green, a lake, is the name of the other. A pool it is of natron, and a pool it is of nitria. Otherwise said, traversers of millions of years is the name of the one, green lake is the name of the other. Otherwise said, begetter of millions of years is the name of the one, green lake is the name of the other. As concerning the God great who is in it, Ra, it is himself. I passed over the way, I know, the heads of sheep, Matah. What then is it? Risa, it is the underworld, south of Nairobi Tepet, the door north of the tomb, as concerning sheep, Abados, it is, otherwise said, the road it is which travelleth his father to move over it, when he goeth to Seket Aru, which produceth the Toshafa food of the gods behind the shrine. Now the gate, search the gate, is of the pillars of two, the gate northern of the underworld, it is, otherwise said, the 2 leagues of door that goeth to move through it when he goeth forth from the horizon eastern of heaven. O ye gods who are in the presence, grant to me your 2 arms. I am God, that I can come into existence among you. What then is it? The drops of blood. It is which come forth from the palace of Ra after he set out to perform the mutilation upon himself. They came into existence as the gods who are in the following of Ra, Hu, and Sa, and they are following Tanu on the course of the day every. I filled Osiris the scribe, Ani, triumphant, for thee, the Ushchat, after it had failed on day after the battle of the 2 fighters. What then is it? The day it is of the fighting of Horus, in it with Set, throwing excrement in the face of Horus, and carried off Horus the testicles of Set, for Thoth did this with his fingers himself. I raised up the hair at the time, the stones in the sky. What then is it? It is the right of Ra, and the raging against him after. He hath made it to depart, and Thoth raiseth up the hair there, and bringeth it, i.e., the eye, living, healthy, and sound, without defect, to its Lord, otherwise said, it is the eye, when it is sick, when it is weeping for its fellow, standeth up and Thoth to wash it. I see Ra, born of yesterday, from the hindquarters of Merhurt. This strength is my strength, and conversely, what then is it? This is the water of heaven, otherwise said, The image it is of the eye of Ra. In the morning at his birth, day every mirrored. The eye is of Ra. Therefore, Osiris, the scribe, Ami, triumphant, is one great of those gods who are in the following of wars. Spoken for him that loveth his Lord. What, then, is it? Vesta, happy, Tuamatha, Kuapanasana. Homage to you, lords of right and truth, divine beings who are behind Osiris, causing to be annihilated, defects who are in the following of Hetep, Sekos. Grant ye me that I may come to you, destroy ye defects all, which belong to me, according to that which ye wrought for beautified beings, 7 these who are among the followers of their Lord, Sepha, made Anubis their place on day, that have come therefore there. What then is it? These lords of right and truth are and Aztes, lord of Amatent, the divine beings behind Osiris, Mesta, Happy, Tuamatepet, and Quebsenet are those who are behind the cloud in the heaven northern, now those who cause annihilation of defects and are in the following of Hetep, Sekias, Sebek, are in the waters. Now Hetep, Sekias, the eye is of Ra, otherwise said, the flame. It is following Osiris to burn up the souls of his enemies, as concerning the effects, all which belong to Osiris, scribe of divine offerings of all the gods, Ani, triumphant since he went forth from the womb of his mother, as concerning beautified beings, those even 7, Mesta, Happy, Tuamatapet, Quabanasanep, Atsep, Keri, Guru, Kente, Ma. Place then Anubis as partakers of the dead body of Osiris, otherwise said, behind the place of purification of Osiris, otherwise said, beautified beings, 7 those are, Necha, Netecha, Akwarkat, and Erta, Nethbes, Kenetith, Ek, Her, Amene, Unet, Tesher, Ma, Amene, Het, Anis, Ubes, Rafer, and Kitzah, Ma, and Ter, and Net, and Ter. Now the shape of the divine beings of those of his hall is Horus, the avenger of his father. As concerning day that have come then there, he sang to Osiris, it is by Ra come then there. See, decreed it is for me in Amnetet. I am his soul within the 2, the Shaphai. What then is it, Osiris? It is when he goes to Tatu, and findeth he the soul there of Ra, embraceth one the other there, and come to existence souls within the 2 Teshep. As concerning the 2 Teshepi, Horus it is the avenger of his father, and Horus and Keneteth and Ma, otherwise said his double soul within the Teshepi. The soul is of Ra, the soul is of Osiris, the soul is which is in Shu, the soul is which is in Tefnah. His double soul is that which is in Tatu. I am cat without fighting, by the Perseer tree, near him in Heliopolis. On night, that of destroying enemies of Nebuchadnezzar in it. What then is it? Cat, that male Ra is himself, and called is he cat by the word of Sa. About him like is he unto that which he hath made, and became his name cat, otherwise said Shu. It is in making over the property of Seb to Osiris, as concerning the fighting by the Perseer tree near him in Anu, the children of input into revolt. It is when it is done justice for what they have done. Now concerning night of the battle, when they enter into the eastern part of the sky, there straightway taketh place of battle, and heaven and of the earth to the whole extent, hail and his egg shining from his disk, rising from his horizon, glittering above the sky, without second among the gods, sailing over the pillar of true, giving winds of fire of his mouth, making bright the 2 earths with his radiance, delivered out Neptune, the Lord of devotion from God, that secret of form, being his 2 eyebrows like unto the 2 arms of scales of night, that of the reckoning of the destroying of the goddess. Who then is it, Ananap? It is, as concerning night of the reckoning of the destroying goddess, the night it is of the burning up of it of enemies, and causing the destruction of the wicked at his walk, and of the slaughter of souls. Who then is it, Nemu? It is the slaughter of Osiris, otherwise said, Apep. It is when he rises up, and with one head having upon it Maat. Otherwise said, Horus. Is it when he riseth up with two heads, one having Maat, the other having wickedness? He giveth no wickedness to the worker thereof, and that to him that followeth after it. Otherwise said, Horus it is the great president of Sechem. Otherwise said, Thoth it is. Otherwise said, Nefer Samuel it is, or Septu. Thwarting the business of the enemies of Nebuchadnezzar. Deliver thou from those watchers who bring forth slaughtering knives, and are provided with fingers cruel, and slay those who are in the following of Osiris. Not may they prevail over me, not may I fall under their knives. What then is it? Anubis it is, and Horus it is, and Stent and Map. Otherwise said, the divine chiefs and the repulsor of affairs there. Otherwise said, the princes of the Shenu chamber. Not may overcome knives there, not may fall I under the instruments of torture, because I know name there, and I know oppressor that who is among them, and the house of Osiris shooting light from his eye. Not seen is he goeth round heaven within the flame of his mouth, commanding the now, not being himself seen. I am strong upon earth before Ra, my rival be happy before Osiris. Not may your offerings be against me, those which are upon their altars, because I am among the followers of Nebuchadnezzar. According to the writings to Papyrus, I fly as a hawk, I cackle as a goose, I kill always like the Hebetuka. What then is it? Those it is which are upon their altars an image. It is of the eye of Ra, an image of the eye of Horus. O Ra, Smu, Lord of the great house, Prince life, strength, health of gods. All deliver thou from God, that whose face is in the form of a dog, and his eyebrows are like those of men. Deliver upon the enemy, watching for bite that of the lake. A fire devouring bodies and swallowing hearts and avoiding filth, not being seen himself. Who then is it? Eater of millions, his name, he being within the lake. As concerning the lake of fire, it is that one which is in Anarata, near the Shinu chamber. Now traitor every upon it. Unclean he falleth to the knives. Otherwise said, Mates is his name, regarding the door of Hamatet. Otherwise said, Seket in his name, and guards by that of Amletet. Otherwise said, Harry Sepeth is his name, O Lord, terror, chief of the two lions, Lord of readiness, making ready the block of slaughter, living upon entrails. Who then is it, the guardian of the light, that of Amletet? What then is it? The heart it is of Osiris, the devourer, slaughtered things all, hath been given to him the Uruk crown with dilation of heart, as president of Sutin-Henan. What then is it? Now there hath been given to him the Uruk crown with dilation of heart, as president of Sutin-Henan. Osiris it is. He was commanded to rule among the gods on day that of the union of the two earths, before ever to share. What then is it? Now he that commanded to rule among the gods, Horus is son of Isis, who was appointed to rule in the seat of his father Osiris. Now the day that of the union of the two earths, the gathering of the two earths, it is as the sarcophagus of Osiris, the soul living in Sutin-Henan, the giver of food, the annihilator of sins, he goeth along the road of eternity. What then is it? Ra, it is himself, deliver thou before great God, that the carrier away of souls, the devourer of dirt, living upon garbage, the guardian of darkness, living in life, fear him, those who are in misery. Who then is it? As concerning the souls that attach of thee, with God, who seizeth the soul, and eateth hearts, and liveth upon the entrails, the guardian of the darkness, who is within the sacred book. Fear him, those who live in Japheth. What then is it? Suki, it is, otherwise said, Smam, the soul of Seb, Hail, Kephara. Within his birth, the double cycle of the gods is his body. Deliver thou, Osiris, and he triumphant from those watchers who give judgment, who have been placed by Neb, chair to chair, to protect him and to perform the fettering of his enemies, who make slaughter in the slaughter of houses. There is no coming forth from the restraint. Not may they send knives from there into me, not may I enter into their slaughterhouses, not may I stay. within their chambers of torture not have been done by me, things of those which hate the gods, because I am here within the mesquite, have been brought to him cakes of saffron within Canaanite. Who then is it, Papyrus, within his boat? Ra, it is himself. Now those guardians who give judgment to apes are Isis and Aphetis. Now those things which hate God's witness are and falsehood. Now the pastors of the purification chamber within the mesquite, Anubis he is behind the chest which holdeth the intestines of Osiris, he to whom have been given cakes of the saffron, and the Tanatit Osiris is otherwise said, the cakes of the saffron in Tanatit, heaven and earth are, though I said the strength of shoe of the two earths and two contended. Now the cakes of the saffron, the eye of Horus, are now Tanatit, the burial places of Horus. Osiris hath built thy house, Tumu hath founded an habitation of Rariath hath arrived, drugs, purified Horus, strengthened, set, and vice versa. Cometh he into the earth, this he hath taken it, with his 2 feet. Osiris is proud and a triumphant before Osiris. He is to move, he is in thy town. Turn thou back, Rehu, shining of mouth, movable by of head. Turn thou back from his strength, otherwise said, turn back from. Him that keepeth guard and not seen as he guarded is Osiris Ani, he is Isis. He himself is found as he spreadeth her hair over him, I scattereth it upon his forehead. Conceived was he in Isis, engendered was he in Ephesus. They cut off the things which should be cut away from him. Fear bloweth after thee thy terrors upon his 2 arms, embraceth thy thou for millions of years by their arms. Go round thee, mortals, thou smitest down the advocates of thine enemies. Thou seizest the powers of darkness by their arms, are given to thee the 2 sisters for thy delight. Thou createst what it is in Herabah, and what it is in Heliopolis. Lord, every feareth thee, great, very, and terrible art thou, God, every of him that curseth him shooting arrows. Thou livest according to thy will, thou art our mission. The lady of flame, those who rise up against thee, evil cometh among them. What then is it? Head in the forms given by men who is the name of the sarcophagus. He seeth what it is upon his head in the name of the shrine, otherwise said it is the name of the block. Now the shining of the mouth, and the movable head, the phalluses of Osiris, otherwise said the phalluses it is of Ra. Now thou spreadest thy hair, hast scattered upon his forehead. Isis it is who hideth it, she hath drawn her hair there. Now who hath the ship, the lady of flames, thy Ra is. Oh, the first, the name of the doorkeeper is second, Garash, Aru. The name of it is water is Mephiheth, the name of the herald. Now those who rise up against me, and there is evil among them, the powers of darkness of such are when there is strife among them, for the strife is flame. They be granted to him by the decree of those who are in tattoo to destroy the souls of his enemies. In it is Keru saith, Ani triumphant when coming to hold the first. I am the mighty one making his light. I have come to thee, Osiris, I adore thee, purified from the foul emanations. Lead on, do not thou make a name of the race to him, homage to thee, Osiris, in thy might, in thy strength, and Restart risest thou up. Conquer thou, O Osiris, and Abydos. Thou goest round heaven, thou sailest in the presence of Ra, thou seest the wretched all. Hail, revolt of Ra, it in it. Verily I say, Osiris, I am a ruler, divine I say. Let it be thou, therein is no repulse to me. At its wall of burning coals, I have opened the way, and Restart, easing. Upheld Osiris, making to enter that which hath laid the standard, making his way in the valley, great one, making the way, shineth Osiris. The second poet, Hail, the second, the name of his doorkeeper is Unhas, the name of its watcher, Seket Hera, the name of the herald, and it is Uset, saith Osiris Ani. When he cometh to hold this, he sitteth to do the height of the desire of his heart, and wait words as the second of the thought. The versions of thought making to the immediate of my gods, hidden who live upon the map in their years. I make offerings at the moment of his making his way. I pass on, I make an entrance on the way. Grant thou that I may pass, that I may accomplish the sight of Ra, of those who make offerings. Or the third, the name of his doorkeeper, Kwek Huata, and Pehu, the name of its watcher is Saras Hara, the name of the herald, and it is Ah. Saith Osiris Ani, I am hidden in the great people, judge of Rahud. I have come and I have destroyed the defects of Osiris. I am binding up his standard, which cometh forth from the crown. I have established things in Abydos. I have opened the way in Restah. I have eased the pain in Osiris. I have made the balance ascended. I have made the way he standeth in Restah. All the forth the name of its doorkeeper is Kesef, Kara, As, Kehu. The name of its watcher is Seres, Tepu. The name of the herald in it is Kesef, At. Saith Osiris, the tribe of Ani, triumphant. I am the ball, the son of the ancestors of Osiris. Grant ye that may give evidence for him, his father, the lord of his divine companions. I have weighed in judgment the guilty there. I have brought him life through his nostril forever. I am the son of Osiris. I have made the way. I have passed there into Teret. All the fifth. The name of its doorkeeper is Ankatha Amathent. The name of its watcher, Shabu. The name of the herald in it is Tebherakeha. Kept. Saith Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant. I have brought thy jawbones into Restah. I have brought for thee thy backbone into Heliopolis, gathering together his many fragments there. I have repulsed for thee Akab. I have poured water, Nesep. Upon the cuttings in the flesh I have made a way among you. I am the aged one among the gods. I have made the offerings of Osiris. Triumphant hath he with victory, gathering together his bones, collecting his limbs. All the sixth. The name of his doorkeeper is Atiktal, Kehak, Kirhuru. The name of its watcher is Anhara. The name of the herald in it is Atis. Hurrah! Saith Osiris, the scribe Ani, I have come daily twice. I have made the way. I have passed along that which created Anubis. I am the lord of the Urid crown. Without magical words, I am the avenger of right. Have avenged his eye. I have bandaged the eye of Osiris. For him I have made the way. Have passed Osiris Ani with you. All the seventh. The name of its doorkeeper is Sechem, Matinu, Sen. The name of its watcher is Abakaharu. The name of the herald who is in it is Kesef Kemi. Saith Osiris Ani. I have come to thee, Osiris, hear from thy emanations. Thou goest round heaven, thou seest Ra. Thou seest the Rechatic, only one. Behold, thou art in a second forth. He goeth round the horizon of heaven. I speak of that which I wish to his mummy. It becometh strong. It cometh into existence as he speaketh. Thou turnest back his face. Make thou for me ways all prosperous before thee. Words spoken when one comes to the pylon the first, saith Osiris Ani. Triumphant lady of terrors, lofty of wars, sovereign lady, mistress, destruction, dispose of words, which repulse destroyers delivering from destruction. The traveler along the way, the name of its doorkeeper is Nerut. Words spoken when comes to pylon the second, saith Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant lady of heaven, mistress of the world, devourer, lady of mortals. How much great is she than all peoples? The name of the keeper of its door, Mespatah, his words spoken when cometh the pylon, the third of the house of Osiris, saith the scribe Ani, triumphant lady of the altar, mighty one of offerings, beloved of God, every sailing of Abydos. The name of the doorkeeper is Sabak. Words spoken when one cometh to pylon the fourth, saith Osiris, the scribe Ani, prevailer with knives, mistress of the world, destroyer of enemies of the still heart, making the decree of the dismal, of the needy from harm. The name of its doorkeeper is Nakah. Words spoken when one cometh to the pylon the fifth, said Osiris, the scribe Ani, flame, lady of breath before the nostrils. Thus shall one advance to entreat her. Thus shall one come into her presence. The name of its doorkeeper. Pentatataku. Words spoken when one cometh to the pylon the sixth, saith Osiris, scribe Ani, lady of light, mighty one of shouting. Naught is known, her breadth or her extent. Naught hath been found alike in the beginning. There is a worm upon it, naught is known. How great it is born in the presence of the still heart. The name of the doorkeeper is Semathi. Words to be spoken when one cometh to the pylon the seventh, saith Osiris, scribe Ani, garments clothing the feeble one. weeping for what is loveth and hitteth, the name of the doorkeeper, Satif. Words to be spoken when one comes to the pile on the 8th, saith Osiris, scribe Annie, triumphant fire blazing, not to be quenched the flame, provided with flames far reaching of hands, slaying not to be gainsaid, not may one pass over it through fear of the hurt thereof, the name of the doorkeeper. Words to be spoken when one cometh to pylon at night. Saith Osiris Annie, the one who is at the front, the lady of strength, who quitteth the heart, Mesat, her lord measures 350 in circuit, walked with mother of emerald of the south, rising up the divine figure, clothing the feeble one. Through the face every the name of the doorkeeper is Arusa Tesla. Words to be spoken when one comes to a pylon at 10, saith Osiris Annie, high of voice, raising cries, and those who make entreaty fearful one in her care, not feareth she whosoever is within it, the name of the doorkeeper is second earth. Pylon 11th, repeater of slaughter, bearer of fiends terrible, she hath pylons all making rejoicing on the day of the darkness. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 12th, invoking the two earths, destroying those who come in with light and fire, lady of splendor, hearkening to her lord, day every. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 13th hath stretched Isis her two hands and arms over, making to shine happy in his hidden place. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 14th, lady of the night, dancer upon the blood. I make for her the festival the god hath on the day of the hearing and crimes. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 15th, souls bloody or terrible, who inspect and who scrutinize coming forth by the night, fetching the fiend at his corner, may be given the two hands to the still hearts in his moments, making advance and coming on it to it. She is holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 16th, saith Osiris, he when he cometh to the pylon, this terrible one, lady of the rainstorm, place her defeat in the souls of mankind, devour the dead bodies of the mankind, ordering coming forth and creating slaughter of sheep. She holdeth an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon 17th, half in pieces and blood, lady of the flame. She was holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon 18th, lover of fire, purifier of sins, true love of slaughter, president of those who adore, lady of the temple, slaughter of the fiends in the night. She was holding an inquisition of the bandaged feeble one. Pylon the 19th, disposers of light and a period of light, mistress of flames, lady of the strength and writings of Thoth himself. She is holding an inquisition of the bandages of Pan. Pylon the 20th, she is in within the cabin of her lord. Filter in her name, hiding her creations, carrying away hearts, devouring water. She is holding an inquisition of the bandages of Pan. Pylon the 21st, right. Cussing when it is uttered in the name, making the slaughter of those who advance to her flames. She is possessing schemes hidden, speaketh, and mocketh. He saith, I have come to you, O divine chiefs mighty, who are in the heaven, earth, and the netherworld. I have brought to you Osiris, and may not have he sinned against gods, and may grant that he may be with you in day every. An adoration of Osiris, Lord of Restah, another cycle of the gods great, which is the Netrix of Osiris, the Fab Annie. He saith, whom we should be president of Amontet, from the fair within Abydos. I have come to thee, and my heart possesseth right and truth. Not is there sin in my body, not have I spoken lies of knowledge, not have I acted of the motive devil. Grant thou to me, hasten coming forth in the presence of the altar, the words of right and truth, going in and coming out from the nectar of her head, not being driven away my soul from the sight of the disk, sight of the moon forever twice. Speaketh Semaphis. He saith, I have come to you, O divine chiefs who are in Restah. I brought to you Osiris and a great grant cakes, water, wind, and estates, and Sekhet, adds to the followers of Horus. An adoration of Osiris, Lord of the everlasting, and of the divine beings and the lords of Restah. Osiris, scribe Annie, he said, homage to thee, king of the netherworld, prince of Akkad. I have come to thee, I know thy plans, I am provided with thy forms in the netherworld. Grant thou to me a place in the netherworld near the lords of right and truth, my estates lay in permanent and second temple. May I receive cakes before thee, hail Thoth, making victorious Osiris over his enemies, making victorious Osiris over his enemies as thou madest victorious Osiris over his enemies before the divine beings who are with Ra and with Osiris and Helopius. On the night of the things of that night that of battle and of making fetching the Sabu, day that of destroying enemies and Nebuchadnezzar, the divine chiefs great and the place are to move to Tempest. Now the bettering of Sabu, the destruction of the things of Seth, is the same time he wrought evil. He will not making victorious Osiris against his enemies, make the triumph of Osiris Ani sick against his enemies before the divine beings who are and tattoo on night and after making stand up to Seth and tattoo. And the divine chiefs great who are in tattoo Osiris is, Isis is, Hephaestus is, and Horus is, the avenger of his father now, but making to stand up his head and tattoo is the shoulder of Horus, resident of Sechem. There behind Osiris in the forms of bandages of clothing, hail thought, making victorious Osiris over his enemies, make victorious Osiris Ani triumphant over his enemies. Four divine chiefs great who are in Sechem on the night of the things of the night in Sechem. Now the divine chiefs great who are in Sechem, Horus, Kenthi, and Ma'at, and what are who are in the divine chiefs, Nefertiti. Now night that of the things of that night of the festival of the daybreak is at the sarcophagus of Osiris. Hail Thoth making the triumph of Osiris over the enemies, make the triumph of Osiris describe Ani over his enemies before the divine chiefs, raise him on the night that of setting up the columns of the Horus and of making him to be established heir of the things of his father Osiris. Now the divine chiefs raising the Horus is, Isis is, Mesta is, and Happy is. Now the setting up of the pillars of Horus, the saying of such his to his followers, set up columns upon it, hail Thoth and make to triumph Osiris over his enemies, make to triumph Osiris, the scribe of Ani, triumph is he over his enemies. Before the divine chiefs raising Tail, Rocket on night after the lying down of Isis, watching to make lamentation for her brother Osiris. Now the divine chiefs raising Tail, Rocket to Isis, is Horus and his Mesta, is hail Thoth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies, make the triumph Osiris describe Ani triumphing peace over his enemies before the divine chiefs, great in Abydos, night that after the separation of the dead, at the judgment of the good spirits, and at the coming into existence of cries of joy and Teni. The divine chiefs, great in Abydos, Osiris is, Isis is, Papyrus is, hail Thoth, making the triumph of Osiris over his enemies, make the triumph of Osiris describe the accountant of the divine offerings of God's all, and over his enemies before the divine chiefs who judge the night that of making the judgment of those who are annihilated. Now the divine chiefs spread in the judgment of the dead of this before the divine beings among the dead of the night, not on the making of the judgment annihilating are they. Osiris is, Anubis is, and Astum is. Now the judgment of those who are annihilated, the imprisonment of the thing is for the souls of the children of the impotent rebellion. Hail Thoth, making to triumph Osiris over his enemies, make the triumph Osiris describe Ani triumphant over his enemies before the divine chiefs, raising the festival of breaking and turning up the earth, and tattoo on the night of the festival of breaking and turning of the earth in their blood, and making the triumph Osiris over his enemies. Now the divine chiefs raising the festival of breaking and turning up in the earth, and tattoo the coming of the things of Seth is when make a charge form into animals. They are slain in the presence of gods, those and beings smiting them, their blood flowed among them are granted those things by the judgment of those who are in tattoo. Hail Thoth, making the triumph of Osiris over his enemies, making the triumph of Osiris Ani over his enemies before the divine chiefs greaten now on night that of making secret forms. The divine chiefs greaten now Ra is, Osiris is, Shu is, Evi is. Now at night that of making secret forms in the presence of the sarcophagus of the fire. The heel and lay of Osiris in the head, hail Thoth, making the triumph of Osiris over his enemies, make the triumph of Osiris Ani, triumphing before Osiris over his enemies, before the divine chiefs raising the Rita on night and after the line of Anubis, with his two hands over the things behind Osiris and of making the triumph of Horus over his enemies. Now the divine chiefs great and Rita, Horus is, Osiris is, Isis is, Osiris' heart rejoicing, Horus' heart dilated with joy. The two regions are at peace through it. Hail Thoth, making the triumph of Osiris over his enemies, make the triumph of Osiris describe the council of the divine offerings of God's all. Ani triumphant over his enemies, before the divine chiefs great ten with God and with Osiris, of God every, God is every, before ever to care. He hath destroyed his enemies, he hath destroyed evil and all belonging to him. If he said hath the fear, one cometh forth by day after death, then he maketh the form which would give his heart. Now, if be beside the chapter that is all over him, strong and maketh him upon earth, he will come forth from fire every, not shall encompass him thing any or evil, any which appertaineth to him which when broken freely repeat millions of times. Chapter of the opening of the mouth of Osiris described Annie, to be said to be opened by my mouth, by the ta, untied the bandages twice, which are upon my mouth by the god of my town, from the top, filled and with provided with charms, untie the bandages twice, it says, which fetter my mouth, repulsing canoe, shoots them, he at those who would fetter me with them, be open my mouth, be unclose my mouth, by shoe, with weapon is that of iron of heaven, he opened the mouth of the gods with it. I am secatized upon side west, great of heaven, I am star, the grace and the mess of the souls of Theophilus. As concerning charms all and words all spoken against me, these may resist the gods of them, and the cycle of the gods all. Chapter of bringing charms to Osiris Ani, I am to move to Perak, who produced himself upon the leg of his mother, are made wolves, those who are in new in the hyenas, those who are among the divine chiefs. Behold, I collect a charm, this from every place where it is, from the person with whom it is quicker than greyhounds, fleeter than light, hail bringer of the boat of Ra. Strong are they sail rudder ropes, and the wind as thou sailest over the lake of fire in another world. Behold, thou collectest charm in this from place every in which it is there from the person of whom it is, quicker than the greyhound, swifter than light, making forms of existence from the high. Otherwise said, swifter than shoe, who maketh the creation of the gods from or in silence, who maketh them powerless, who giveth heat to the heads of the gods. Behold, is given to me the charm this from every place in which it is from the person of whom it is quicker than a greyhound, fleeter than light. Of the mother, creating the gods from the silence, giving the mother heat to the gods. Behold, is given to me charm this from where it is, quicker than a greyhound, sweeter than light, otherwise said, fleeter than a shadow. Re and Ertak, chapter of making the deceased to remember. His name in the netherworld may be given to me. My name in the great double house may I remember my name in the house of fire. In night and out of the computing years, and telling the number of the months, I am with the divine being, and I sit at the side east of heaven. God, any advance of feet behind me, I declare his name immediately. Chapter of the giving heart to Osiris, Annie to him in the netherworld. Annie saith, may my heart be to me in the house of hearts, my heart be to me in the house of hearts. May be to me my heart, may it rest in me, or I shall not eat the cakes of Osiris. On the side east of the lake of flowers, abode in thy going down the Nile, and in thy sailing up, nor shall I advance to the boat with thee. May be to me my mouth, that I may speak with it, my 2 legs to walk, my 2 hands and arms to overthrow my enemy. Be open to me the doors of heaven, may unbolt for me, said the chief of the gods. His 2 jaws for me, may be he open my 2 eyes, which are blinded, may he make to stretch out my feet, which are fastened together, may make strong Anubis, my legs to rise up for myself, maketh me to rise, Sekhet, the goddess, that I may be in heaven, being done, that I command in the house of Ptah. I know my heart. I have gained power over my heart. I have gained power over my 2 hands and arms. I have gained power over my feet. I have gained the power to do what pleaseth my God. Not shall be imprisoned my soul with my body at the gates of Amenhotep, at my entrance in peace, and coming forth in peace. Chapter of the not allowing to be driven away the hearts of Osiris, described of the divine offerings of God's soul, any triumphant from him in the netherworld. He saved my heart, my mother twice, my heart by coming into existence, not be there resistance to me in the judgment, not be there repulsed to me by the divine chiefs, not make the separation from me in the presence of the keeper of the scales. Thou art my double in my body, forming and making strong my limbs. Mayest thou come forth to the place of the happiness to which we advance there. Thou may make distinct my name, discern right, who make mean to be instability. Chapter of the not allowing to be taken away the soul of man from him in the netherworld. Saith Osiris the sky Annie, I am he, I am the comer forth from the water floods. It giveth my illumination, and it gaineth power, there as the river Nile. Chapter of the drinking water in the underworld, I am he, I am the comer forth from Seb, hath been given to him the inundation, he hath obtained the power in it as happy. I open. The two doors of heaven are open to me, the two doors of the water floods, by Thoth, and by Happy, who are the two sons are of heaven. Mighty splendors, grants ye that I may gain power over the water, even as conqueror sets his enemies on day, that of terrifying the world. I have passed by the great ones, shoulder against shoulder, as they have passed by God, that great splendid provider unknown in his name. I have passed by the mighty one on the shoulder. I have opened the flood of Osiris. I have passed through the flood. Thoth happy to me, Lord of the horizon, in his name that of Thoth, clever of the earth. I have gained power in the water, as conquered Set, his enemies. I have sailed over heaven. I am Ra. I am the lion god. I am the young bull. I have eaten the fat. I have seized the flesh. I have gone around the kennel of the Sekataru. Hath been given to me eternity of its nose. Behold, I am the heir of eternity, hath been given to him, everlastingness. Chapter of drinking water, and of not being burnt in the fire, saith he, Hail, Lord Amenetet, I am brought to thee, I am o'er that of Ra, transporteth he the aged ones with it. Let me be not burnt, let me not be consumed. I am Beb, son of eldest of Osiris, he washeth God every, within his eye, and he loveth us. I am the heir, exalted, the mighty one, still heart, I make to grow, my name, I have delivered it to make me to live in myself on this day. Chapter of not being scalded with water. Saith he, I am ore, that prepared for rowing, ferried Ra, the aged one, with it I lift up the humors of Osiris and the lake from the flame, which without passage it is, turned out of the course he is, not burnt as he. I race kind with the Hamanu, I come to the abode of the lions, with killing and fettering, following myself, the way came forth he by it. Chapter of giving breath in the netherworld, saith Osiris Ani. I am the egg in the great cackler, and I watch the broad place, that great which proclaims Seb upon earth. I live and it liveth. I grow strong, I live. I smell the air. I am Utcha, Ab, and I go round and behind his leg. I have destroyed the moment of the great strength set. Hail those who make his pleasant the world with the Chetapa, who dwelleth in the blue. Watch ye over him that is in his nest. The babe he cometh forth to you. Another chapter of giving you bread. I am Sab, Sabu, I am Shu. I draw in the air in the presence of the glorious God at the limits of heaven, at the limits of the earth, at the limits of Shu, of the sky. I give a breath to those who are children. Chapter of smelling the air in the earth. Saith he, O Tanu, ranted out to me breath that sweet, in thy two nostrils I embrace. See through that break with Hermonopolis. I drawed egg out of great cackler. I grow, it groweth, and vice versa. I live, and it liveth. I smell the air, it smelleth the air. Chapter of not allowing to be taken away the heart of a person from him and another one. Saith Osiris Ani, triumphant, turn thou back, messenger of God every. Is it that thou hast come for my heart, for this which liveth? Not shall be given to thee my heart, this which liveth. Advancing, listen the gods, to my oblations. They fall upon their faces, all of them, upon the ground of their own. Chapter of not allowing to be taken away the heart of a man from him in the netherworld. Saith Osiris Ani, Hail, takers away of hearts. The limits of earth pass the limits of shew of the sky. I give breath to those who are children. Chapter of smelling the air and the earth, saith he, O Tamu, grant thou to me to breathe that sweet in thy two nostrils. I embrace the seat, that great with Hermopolis. I guard egg, that of the great cackler. I grow it groweth, and vice versa. I live, it liveth. I smell the air, it smelleth the air. Chapter of not allowing to be taken away the heart of a person from him. In the netherworld, saith Osiris, Ani, triumphant, turn thou back, messenger of God every. Is it that thou hast come from my heart, this which liveth? Not shall be given to thee, my heart, this which liveth. Advancing, listen, the gods, to my oblations. They fall upon their faces, all of them, upon ground their own. Chapter of not allowing to be taken away the heart of a man from him in the netherworld. Saith Osiris, Ani, hail, takers away of hearts. Hail, stealers of hearts. Ye have done homage to you, ye lords of eternity. Possessors of everlastingness, do not take away this of Osiris Ani with your fingers and his heart this thither, not make ye to come into existence words evil against it, because belongeth part to this to Osiris Ani, part to this of the great of names. The mighty one his words are, and his limbs goeth forth. His heart to inhabit his body, pleasant is his heart to the gods. The heart of Osiris Ani, victorious is he hath gained power over it. Not hath he said what hath been done to it, he hath gained power over his limbs, his own hath obeyed him. His heart he is thy Lord, thou art in his body, not mayest thou fall away. I have commanded that thou shouldest be obedient to me. In the netherworld, Osiris, the scribe, Ani, victorious in peace, triumphant in Amenetah, beautiful in the mountain of eternity. Chapter of not being carried off, the heart of the deceased in the netherworld. Saith he, my heart is with me, not shall happen its being carried off. I am the Lord of hearts, slaying the heart. I live in right and truth, I exist in it. I am Horus, pure of heart. Within the pure of body I live, and or by my word existeth my heart, not may be taken away. My heart from me, let it not be wounded, let there not be the wounds and cuts upon me, being carried away it. May I be in the body of my father, Seb, of my mother, Nut. I have not committed evil against the gods. I have not sinned therein triumph. Chapter of not allowing to be repulsed by the heart of a man from him in the netherworld. My heart, my mother, twice, my heart of my existence upon earth, not be their obstruction to me in judgment in the presence of the Lord of the trial. Not may be said concerning me, he hath worked against right and truth. Of what I have done, not may happen things against me in the presence of the great God, Lord of Amenetah. Homage to thee, my heart, homage to thee, my heart. Homage to you, my entrails. Homage to you, O gods, those who preside over the divine clouds. Exalted by your scepters, speak ye fair things to Ra. Make to prosper ye me before Nehekabah. For behold him, he is joined to the earth, in the inner part great, being laid on the earth. He is not dead in Ametha. He is a glorious being in it. Not allowing to be carried away the heart of the deceased in the netherworld. Hail, lying God. I am Un. What I hate is the unblock of the God. Not let be taken away my heart is from me by the fighter and Heliopolis. Hail, Manager of Osiris, he hath seen Set. Hail, returning one from after the smiting of him. and his destruction. Sitteth hard to this, weepeth it, itself before Osiris, its staff is with it, it prayeth for it from him. May be given to me for it, may be decreed to me for it, the hidden things of the heart in the temple of the god, Usekahara, may be granted to it. Food from the mouth of the eight, not let be taken my heart to this, I make you to inhabit its place, linking hearts to it. In Sekhet, Hetefu, years of vigor, and places almighty, carrying away food, as thy moment, with thy fist, according to thy strength, is heart this place upon the altars of Tamu. He leadeth to the dens of Seth, he hath given to me, my heart hath done its will, the divine chiefs in the netherworld, the leg and the bandages, when they find them, they bury them. Chapter of breathing, the air, and having power over the water and the netherworld, saith Osiris, Ani. Open to me, who then art thou? Thou journey makest what? I am one of you. Who is that? Who is with thee? It is Murti. Separate thou from him, head from head, and entering the Meskin. He granteth that I may travel to the temple of the gods who have found their faces. Ascender of souls is the name of my boat, making to stand the hair. The name of the oars, Goad, is the name of the hold, making straight for the middle is the name of the rudder. Likewise, Paraskatu M, in the lake. There, grant he to me a vessel of milk, cakes, loaves, cups of drink, and meat of flesh in the temple of Anubis. If be known chapter this, he entereth after coming forth from the netherworld. Chapter of smelling the air and obtaining power over the waters in the netherworld, saith Osiris, Ani. Hail, sycamore, that of nut, grant to me of the water and air which are in deep. I embrace the seat that within Hermonopolis I watch and guard. Egg, that of a cacklet. Great, it groweth, I grow. It liveth, I live. It smelleth air, I smell air. I, the Osiris, Ani, in triumphant. Chapter of not dying a second time in the netherworld, saith Osiris, Ani, is opened my hiding place. Twice hath fallen light within the darkness, hath arranged me the eye of Horus, hath nursed me the god Ahuat. I have hidden myself with you, O never setting stars. My brow is like that of Ra. Is my face open? Is my heart upon its seat? I utter words, I know, I am Ra, verily, he himself, not am I made of no effect. Not is violence done to me, liveth for thee, thy father, O son of Nut. I am thy son, Otis. I see thy hidden things. I am diadem as king of the gods. Not die I, a second time in the netherworld. Chapter of the not decaying in the netherworld, saith Osiris, Ani. What I hate is the land of the east. May I never enter into the caravan, may never be done to me things of those which hate the gods, because I behold pass, here within the Mesket, may give to him never to share the splendors on day that of uniting the two earths before the Lord of things, if be known. Chapter this, he is in the condition of a spirit, perfect in the netherworld. Still one, twice, like Osiris, still one, of limbs like Osiris. Let not be without movement them. Let not decay them, let not disappear them, let not depart them. may be done for me as if I were Osiris. That be known chapter this, not decayeth he in the netherworld, Osiris. Chapter of not perishing and of becoming alive in the netherworld, saith Osiris Ani. Hail, children of Shu, twice, of the place of the dawn, re and sect unen aux em nitizeter, Hannah na and una and. Who have possession of his diadem in the form of a hammomet. May I rise up, may I travel like Osiris. Chapter of not entering to the block, saith Osiris Ani. Bindeth up for me the vertebrae of my neck, and back in heaven the guardian of the earth, Ra. It hath been granted on the day of establishing my rising up from weakness. Upon my 2 legs, on day, that of cutting off the hair, hath bound up the vertebrae of my neck and back, set, and the cycle of the gods. In their strength, Christine, not may happen their separation, may strong ye me against the slayer of my father. I obtain power over the 2 earths, and found up my vertebrae, not sing their time first, sing them in meet order. As when not were born the gods in visible forms, I am a Penti, I am in the condition of being, the heir of the gods, great I, Osiris, the scribe, and a triumphant. Chapter of not allowing to pass a man to the east in the netherworld, saith Osiris Ani. Hail, Phallus, that of Ra, advancing, he destroyeth opposition, come into existence things in earth. During millions of years from the god Baba, I am stronger by it than the strong, I have power by it more than the mighty. So then, I shall not be conveyed, I shall not be carried by force to the east to perform the festivals of the fiends. There naught shall be done to me, gashing evil, nor shutting is on every side, nor goring by the horns, not the eating of fish, naught shall be done, goring to me. Another chapter. So then, naught shall be done things any evil unto me by the fiends, nor goring by the horns. Naught shall be devoured, therefore Phallus, that of Ra, the head of Osiris, behold me. I come into my fields, I reap my gods. Speak they with me, not pierce thou, then Ra Tefereth, not shall come into being, and very truth sickness in the eye to move. Not shall it be destroyed, not let be made an end of me, not let be conveyed me to the east to perform the festivals of the fiends hostile to me. Evil, not let be made dashing in me, evil, not am I conveyed to the east. Osiris the scribe, accountant of divine offerings of gods all, Ani, triumphant with victory, happy, Lord of reverence. Chapter of not allowing to be cut off the head of a man from in the underworld, saith Osiris Ani. 6. I am the Great One, son of the Great One. Fire, son of the Fire, was given to him his head. After it was cut off, not was carried away the head of Osiris from him. Not shall be carried away the head of Osiris Ani from him. I have bound up my limbs, I have made myself whole and sound. I have become young, I am Osiris, Lord of eternity. Chapter of causing to be united the soul to its body in the netherworld, saith Osiris Ani. Hail, God, Anitu, the hail runner, dwelling in his hall. O good God, grant thou that may come to me my soul from place any, which is it there, if there be decay. Bring thou to me my soul from place any, which is it there. If thou findest me, O I of Horus, support me. Thou like those beings who are like Osiris, not lie down, they not let lie down Osiris, Ani triumphant and Heliopolis, the land wherein are thousands of unions, hath he carried away from me my soul, my intelligence, and my triumph, with him into place every, which is it there. See therefore the guardian of heaven, my soul, if there be delay, grant thou to see my soul, my body, if thou find me, O I of Horus, support me, then like those beings who are like unto Osiris. Hail, gods, who row in the boat of the Lord of millions of years, who lead it above the underworld, who make it to pass over the waves of Nu, who make to enter the souls into the mummies your hands are filled with. Your rectitude, you grasp it with your hands, holding your scepters, destroying the enemy. Rejoiceth the boat, advanceth to God great in peace. Behold, grant to come forth soul, this of Osiris Ani, triumphant before the gods, triumphant before your persons. From the horizon eastern of heaven to follow to the place where he was yesterday, and peace twice to Ameneta. May he see his whole body, may he rest upon his mummy. May he never perish, not may he suffer destruction of body forever. To be set over a soul of gold, inlaid with stone and placed for a person on his neck, Osiris. Chapter of not causing to be shut up, the soul of a person in the netherworld. The saith Osiris Ani. Hail, exalted one, the one who is adored, mighty, of soul, grand, mighty of terror, causing fear of himself and the gods, esteemed upon his throne, mighty, to maketh the way for intelligence. For the soul of Osiris Ani I am provided. I am an intelligence provided. I have made the way to the place in which Ra and Hathor are there. Let me know after this, he becometh as an intelligence provided in the netherworld, not is he shut out. At door any in Ameneta, in entering in and coming out of the sky. Chapter of opening the tomb to the soul and to the shadow of coming forth by day, and of gaining power over the legs, saith Osiris the scribe, Ani. Triumphant, the place of restraint is open, that which is shut, prostrate. The place of restraint is open to my soul, dwelling in it. The eye of Horus I have bound, establishing splendors of the forehead of Ra, are stretched out the steps, are lifted up the thighs. I have made way that grace my members are vigorous. I am Horus, the avenger of his father. I bring the Urith crown upon its staff. Opened is the way of souls. My soul sick seeth it. Late 18. The god, great, within the boat of Ra, on the day of souls. Is my soul in the front among those who reckon years. Come hath delivered for me my soul, I of Horus, which established my six splendors on the forehead of Ra, the rays of light upon the faces of those who are in the limbs of Osiris. Not shut ye in my soul, not fetter ye my shade. Be there open, a way for my soul, and for my shade may see it, the God great, within the shrine on the day of the judgment of souls. May it repeat the words of Osiris, the being hidden of dwellings, fetters of the limbs of Osiris, fetters of the souls, and of the crew who shut in the shade of the dead. Who can do evil to me? Now may they do evil to me, turning away their path from me. Thy heart is with thee. May my soul and my crew be provided against passage there. May I sit among the great ones who dwell in their seats. Now may restrain thee the fetters of limbs of Osiris, the fetters of souls who shut in the shade of the dead. Is not thy place of possession heaven? Let be known chapter this, he cometh forth by day. Not is shut in his soul, chapters of walking with two legs and coming forth upon earth, saith Osiris Ani. Hath done for thee work soul, thy second, twice, within his dwelling place, within our legs, in the netherworld. I shine above the leg of heaven. I come forth from heaven. I sit down by the side of the divine spirit. Alas, I am weak and feeble. Twice I walk along. I am weak and motionless in the presence of the teeth, gnashed mouth there in the netherworld. Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant from peace. Chapter of passing through Ameneta, and coming forth by day, saith Osiris Ani. Open is Unum, shut is the head of Thoth, perfect is the eye of Horus. I have delivered the eye of Horus, shining with splendors on the forehead of Ra, the father of the gods. I am Osiris, I see him dwelling in Ameneta, knoweth Osiris' day. Not did he exist there, not shall exist I. There I am the moon among the gods. Not come to and die. Stand up then, Horus, he hath counted thee among the gods. Chapter of coming forth by day, and of living after death, saith Osiris Ani. Hail only one, shining from the moon. Hail only one, shining from the moon. Let come forth Osiris Ani, this among the multitudes, those outside. Let be established them among the shining ones. Let be open to the underworld. Behold, Osiris Ani shall come forth by day to do his will upon earth among the living. Chapter of coming forth by day after having traversed his home, saith Osiris Ani. Hail, soul, mighty of valor. Verily, I am here. I have come, I see thee. I have traversed the netherworld. I have seen my father Osiris. I have dispelled the night. I am his beloved. I have come that I may see my father Osiris. I have stabbed this heart of Sith, performing things for my father Osiris. I have opened to me that way every in heaven and earth. I am a son loving his father Osiris. I have become a prince. I have become glorious. I am provided what is necessary. Hail God, every shining being. Every make for me a way to Osiris, the scribe, Ani, triumphant. Chapter of making to return a man himself to see this house upon earth, saith Osiris Ani. This I am the lion god coming forth with strides. I have shot arrows. I have wounded the prey twice. I am by a horse. I have opened the eye of horse hath seasoned this. I have arrived at the furrows. Let advance in the peace of Osiris Ani. In the chapter coming forth of a person by day against his enemies in the netherworld. I have divided heaven. I have passed through the horizon. I have traversed the earth upon his footsteps. I am taking possession of things beautiful and mighty, because I am, behold, provided with his millions of enchantments. I eat with my mouth. I chew with my jaw. I am, behold, the God, the Lord of the underworld. May there be given to me that which is everlasting, Osiris Ani. This without his adoration of Ra, and his rising, and the rising which becometh his setting in life, saith Osiris, the scribe Ani. Homage to thee, Ra, and wait 19, is rising. Tamu, Amarachus, adored art thou, when thy beauties are in my two eyes, and are thy shining rays upon my body. Thou goest forth in peace, thy in the sight of both. Thy heart is gratified by the winds, and the outcast bird. His heart is glad, thou stridest over heaven, in peace are overthrown. Thy enemies sing hymns of praise to thee. The stars which never rest praise thee. The stars that never set, as settest thou in the horizon of Manu, beautiful one. And the two halves of the sky, the Lord, living and established as my Lord. Homage to thee, Ra, as thy rising. Tamu, at thy setting, beautiful. Thou risest, thou shinest over the back of thy mother. Crowned as king of the gods, maketh not homage to thy face. Embraceth thee the act. At the double season thou stridest over heaven. Thy heart is glad, the like of Testis, becometh hath peace. The fiend hath fallen, his two arms and hands are cut off, hath severed. The knife, this news is raw in the winds. Fair, secteth both. Draweth on it, he ariseth things, towed along. The gods of the south, northwest, and east are for the praising thee. The double cloth of forms of existence, sending forth the word. The earth is inundated of silence, O only one existing in heaven, but not had come into existence the earth and the mountains runner. Lord, only one, maker of things which exist. He hath formed the tongue of the cycle, the gods drawing out to that which is in the waters. Thou comest forth in it upon the inundated land of the lake of Horus. I smell the air coming forth from thy nose, and the wind coming forth from thy mother. Make thou glorious my beatified being. Make strong thou, Osiris, my soul. Adored art thou in peace, O Lord of the gods. Thou art exalted by reason of thy wondrous things. Shine thou with thy beams upon my body daily. Osiris, scribe, accountant of divine offerings of gods, all superintendent of the granary of the lords of Abydos, royal scribe, veritable, loving him, and triumphant in peace. Adoration of Osiris, the Lord of eternity, Unither, Horus of the double horizon, many of forms of existence, mighty of shapes, Ptah, Sotaris, Tamu, and Heliopolis, Lord of the hidden house, he hath created Memphis and the gods. Guide of the underworld, thee glorify thee, and thou settest in not embraceth thee. Isis and peace driveth away. She the fiends from the mouth of thy paths. Thou givest thy face upon Amaneta. Thou makest rise the world as with smooth metal. The dead rise up to see thee. Thy breath, the airs, they see thy face as riseth up the disk and his horizon. Their hearts are at peace by reason of seeing thee. Thou art eternity and everlastingness. Homage to thee, Lord of starry deities and of celestial beings, and Karaba. Thou, God, Untai, glories more than the gods, hidden in Heliopolis. Homage to thee, An and Antes, Horus in the double horizon, long of staff, he passeth forth over heaven. He is Horus of the double horizon. Homage to thee, Sol of everlastingness, Sol, or Ram God, dwelling in Tattoo. Unnever, son of Nut, he is Lord of the Akert. Homage to thee, and thy dominion over Tattoo. The earth crown is established upon thy head. Thou art the one maker of his strength. Thou art at peace in Tattoo. Homage to thee as Lord of the acacia tree, placing the scepter both upon its sledge, turning back with a fiend, the maker of evil, making to rest the Uschat upon its place. Homage to thee, strong one, in his moment, great one, mighty, at the head of Na-Arat, Lord of eternity, maker of everlastingness, thou art Lord of Heracleopolis. Homage to thee, resting upon right and truth, thou art the Lord of Abydos, or join thy limbs to the netherworld, thou art he who hath it fraud and craftiness. Homage to thee within his boat, bringing happy from the shores, shineth the light upon his body. He is the dweller in Mecca, homage to thee, maker of the gods, king of north and south, Osiris, triumphant master of the worlds, in his seasons gracious, he is the Lord of the world. Grant thou to me a way that I may pass in peace. I am just and true. I have not spoken lies to my knowledge, nor have I acted with a motive. Second, Plate 20, an adoration of Ra, when he riseth, and the horizon eastern of heaven. Rejoiceth those who are in his train. Hail, Osiris, Ani, in triumphant saith he, hail this, that the Lord of rays, rising in the horizon, day every. Do thou shine upon the face of Osiris, Ani, in triumphant, he adoreth thee at daybreak, he maketh the rest with thee, with praise at eventide. May come forth the soul of Osiris, Ani, victorious of thee into heaven. May he go forth in the Maset boat. May he come into force in the Sektet boat. May he go in among the stars, which set in heaven Osiris, Ani, being at peace and in triumphant. Saith he, adore he, is Lord, the Lord of eternity, saying, homage to thee, Horus of the two horizons, Keparera, that is, who created himself. Doubly beautiful is thy rising in the horizon. Thou shinest upon the two lanes of thy beams. Gods all are in rejoicing when they see thee in the condition of King of heaven. Unet is placed upon thy head. Her portion of the south and her portion of the north are on thy forehead. She maketh her place before thee, is fixed in front of thy boat, to annihilate thy enemies. All those who dwell in the netherworld come forth to meet thee with homage and to see thy image as beautiful. I have come before thee, may I be with thee, to see thy this day every. May I not be shut in, may I not return back. May be renewed my memories by the sight of thy beauties, like the favored ones all, because I am one of those who worship thee upon earth. May I arrive at the land of eternity, and may I be united to the land of everlastingness. Thou, behold, hast ordered for me it, my Lord. Hail, Osiris, Ani, victorious in peace, victorious, he say. Homage to thee, thou risest in the horizons as Ra, established by Maat. Thou passest over the sky, face every is for watching thee, and thy progress having been hidden from faces. There thou givest thyself at dawn and at eventide, day every. Goes forward in strength, the Sektet boat having thy majesty, thy being shine in all faces. Not known are they thy rays, not can be told thy beams, the lands of the gods must be looked upon, and the colors of the eastern countries of Punt. For to be computed what is hidden, thou makest alone by thyself thy form and its appearance. Thou comest into existence above Nu. may he progress even as thou progressest. Not may he make cessation, even as thy majesty maketh not cessation. For a period little striding, travelling over distances of millions of years and hundreds of thousands in one moment. Little thou dost them, and thou settest, thou makest an end of the hours of the night. Likewise thou dost thyself count them, thou endest them according to thy statutes, and the earth becometh light. Thou givest thyself to thy work under the form of Ra, thou risest in the horizon of Cyrus, scribe Annie. Triumphant he saith, he adoreth thee in thy shining, he saith to thee in thy rising, when thou makest sound, in exulting over thy coming into existence. Thou art crowned in the majesty of thy beauties, advancing thou rollest thy limbs, bringing them forth painlessly. Born is he in the form of Ra, rising in the upper regions. Grant thou that I may reach the heaven of everlastingness, and the mountain of thy favored ones. May I join with the shining beings, holy and perfect of the netherworld. May I come forth with them to see thy beauties. Verse 21. As thou shinest at eventide, and thou goest to thy mother nut, thou givest thy face to the west, and thy two hands on adoration. When thou sittest as a living being, thou behold, art the maker of eternity, art adored for thou. When thou settest in new, I have placed thee in my heart without wavering, O mighty in the gods of Cyrus, Annie, triumphant, saith he. Praises be to thee, rising like gold, illumining the two lands on the day of his birth, giving thee birth, thy mother upon her hand, thou illuminest the orbits of the disk, the light bright rising anew, strengthening his generations of men with the now flood, making festival. Our countries, all towns, all temples, all glorious be reason of thy beauty, supporting thy path with meats and Teshuvah food, mighty of victories, powers, fortifying his station against wicked devils, mighty of splendor in the Sekhet bird. Mighty is he exceedingly in the Atet bird. Make glorious thou, Osiris Ani, the victor in the netherworld. Grant thou that he may be in the netherworld empty of his sins. I pray thee, put behind thee his faults. Grant that I may be among the venerated beings of the shining ones. May he join the souls which are in the Taseret. May he journey into the Sekhet Aru. Through the decree with joy, O Osiris the scribe, Annie, triumphant thou shalt come forth into heaven. Thou shalt pass over the sky, thou shalt be associated with the stars, shalt be made to thee praises in the boat, thou shalt be harmed in the Atet boat, thou shalt see Ra within shrine his, thou shalt set with his disk day every, thou shalt see the antfish in its coming into existence upon the waters of turquoise, thou shalt see the abtu fish in his season. May it happen that the evil one shall fall when he sitteth in order to strike him from me. Let be cut asunder his vertebrae. Is Ra and his winds good? Ra, but onward the Sekhet rose, and arriveth it. The sailors of Ra are rejoicing. Net Ankh, her heart is glad, for fallen hath the enemy of her Lord. Thou shalt see Horus in the place of Lookout, and Thoth, and Math at his two sides. Gods all are in rejoicing when they see Ra coming in peace to make to live the hearts of the shining ones. Osiris, the scribe of divine offerings of the lords of Thebes, Annie, triumphant with them. To be said on the day of the month, saith these words, Osiris the scribe, Annie, triumphant in peace, triumphant, saith he, riseth Ra. In his horizon, the cycle of his gods are following, and as coming forth of the god from the place secret, showing strength, bringing himself forth from the horizon eastern of heaven at the words of Nut. They rejoice at the ways of Ra, when straightway the great one he goeth round. Fastened together art thou, therefore, O Ra, within thy shrine. Thou breathest the winds, thou swallowest the breezes, thou makest to devour the jawbones in thy dwelling on the day of thy smelling right and truth. Thou turnest aside the divine followers who sail after the divine boat to come back to the mighty beings at thy word. Thou numberest thy bones, thou gatherest together thy limbs, thou givest thy face towards Amentat. The beautiful comest thou there being renewed day every image, behold that of gold having the splendors of the disk of heaven, possessing terror, thou goest around Being renewed thyself daily, hail rejoicing in the horizon, shouts of joy in its hallowing throats. May the gods who are in heaven, when they see Osiris Ani in triumph, give to him praises like Ra. May Osiris describe Ani be the prince distinguished by the Uruk crown, and may be apportioned his meat and drink offerings of Osiris. Ani, triumphant, may he be strong many times in body, that may be the chief of those who are in the presence of Ra. Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant, may he be strong upon earth and in the netherworld. Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant, may us rise up, thou strengthen like Ra day every. Not shall tarry Osiris Ani, triumphant, not motionless, shall he remain in land, this forever beautiful. Sing with his eyes, this two ears, and hearing. I can true twice, Osiris, scribe Ani, triumphant, coming back twice from Heliopolis, Osiris Ani, triumphant as Ra, arranging. Ani triumphant, may he be strong many times in body, that may he be the chief of those who are in the presence of Ra. Osiris scribe Ani triumphant, may he be strong upon earth and in the netherworld. Osiris scribe Ani triumphant, may us rise up, thou strengthened like Ra day every. Not shall tarry Osiris Ani triumphant, not motionless shall he remain in land, this forever beautiful. Seeing with his eyes, his two ears, and hearing right and true. Twice Osiris scribe Ani triumphant cometh back twice from Heliopolis. Osiris Ani triumphant as Ra, arranging the oars among the followers of Nu. Not hath said Osiris Ani triumphant. What he hath seen, not hath repeated. What he hath heard, Osiris in the house which is concealed. Hail! Shouts of gladness to Osiris Ani, triumphant. The divine body of Ra is in the divine boat of Nu, together with satisfaction of the double the God, according to his will. Osiris Ani, triumphant in peace, triumphant as Horus, mighty forms of existence, say these words over a boat of cubits, 7 in its length, made in color green for the divine chiefs. Make a heaven of stars, washed and purified with natron and with incense. Behold, thou must make a figure of Ra upon a stone plaque, new, of yellow color, and it shall be placed in front of bow to this. Behold, thou must make a figure of deceased with whom thou wishest to make perfect in strength, in bow to this make it to travel, and the divine boat of Ra will look upon him Ra in it himself. Do not thou show it to anyone except thyself, thine own, or thy father, or thy son, and let keep guard them over their faces. He will be seen in another world as a messenger of Ra. Adoration of Ra. On the day of the month whereon he saileth in the boat, homage to thee within his boat, rising twice, shining rays, making to rejoice mankind for millions of years according to his will, given his face to the Hamanat Kephara within his boat. He hath overthrown Atheth. O ye children of Seb, overthrow ye the enemies of Osiris Ani, triumphant, the opponents of good. They shall destroy from the divine boat of Ra, shall cut off Horus, your heads, in heaven in the form of ducks. Ye shall fall down upon the earth and become animals, upon the earth in the form of fishes. Male enemies, female enemies, all destroy them, Osiris. He passeth through heaven, he appeareth upon earth. Come ye forth upon the water. Pass ye along in front of the starry deities, and slaughter them, Thoth. Coming forth from Enarete is silent, and becometh and substitute Osiris, the scribe, Ani. Behold ye then God, the straight of slaughter, mighty of terror. He washeth in your blood, he batheth in your gore. Destroyeth them, Osiris, the scribe, Ani. From the boat of his lord, Ra, Horus, Osiris, Ani, triumphant, living apart, giveth birth to him his mother Isis, nurseth him Nephthys, even as did they. For Horus, the repeller of the fiends of Seth, they saw the Urutu crown established upon his head, and they fell down upon their faces, O shining beings. Behold, ye men, God's damned ones, when they see Osiris, Ani, triumphant as Horus, he being adored through the Urutu crown, fall ye down upon your faces, victorious as Osiris, Ani, triumphant over his enemies in the heaven above and the heaven beneath. With the divine shapes of God, every hand of goddess, every sail over a hot, great standing with the white crown upon his head, Tanu, Shu, Tefnut, Seb, Nut, Osiris, Isis, Nephthys, write with yellow color upon a plaque of newness, and place it in both, this with a figure of dead person, this anointed with unguents. Let them place incense upon the fire, and ducks to be roasted, an act of praise of Ra. Is it when arriveth his bow to this with Ra to place every sail of he, their slaughtered enemies of Ra, are in the very truth, to be done on day 6 of the festival, the chapter of Sectet Boat, Plate 24. Chapter of going to the divine chiefs of Osiris, saith Osiris the scribe, Ani, triumphant, hath builded for me, my soul, a dwelling place in Tattoo. I have become vigorous in thee. I have flowed the fields in my forms of existence. Is my palm tree as the god Amsu over them? My abominations twice, not do I eat. My abominations, those which I abominate, are filth, not do I eat it. There are food offerings and meat for those who are not destroyed by it. Not do I raise myself to it with my two arms, not do I walk thereupon my sandals, because my bread is of grains white, my beer is of the grains red. Of happy, I indeed the Sektet boat and the Atet boat bring to me them, and I eat them under the trees of which I know the branches beautiful. How I make myself glorious with the white crown there I lift up the Uri. Hail, guardian of the door, who giveth peace to the world, bring to me those who make offerings. Grant thou that I may lift the earth, that may open to me the beings of splendor, their arms, that may speak the cycle of the gods, the words of the Hamamet with Osiris Ani. May lead him the hearts of the gods, may they make him powerful in heaven among the gods who have visible forms. Now God every and Goddess every, he passeth our forth, making Osiris the scribe Ani, triumphant at the beginning of the year, living upon hearts, eating them at the coming forth from the east. Judged is he by the ancestors of Ra, judged is he by the ancestors of light. He is a shining being, clothed in heaven among the mighty ones. The provisions of Osiris, the scribe Ani, triumphant, are among the cakes and beer made for their mouths. I go in through the dis, I come out through the god Ahu. I speak with the followers of the gods. I speak with the dis. I speak with the Hamamet. He granteth me to be victorious in the blackness of the night within Me'ert. Near his forehead, behold, I am with Osiris, and I proclaim what he announceth among the mighty ones. He speaketh to me the words of men. I listen, and I repeat to him the words of the gods. I come, Osiris, Ani, triumphant in peace, as one endowed with all things. Thou risest upright in truth, for those who love them. I am a shining being, endowed more than shining beings all. The beginning of the chapter of Plate 25. the beginning of the chapters of making transformations. Making the transformations into a swallow or dove, saith Osiris Ani triumphant. I am a swallow. Swallow that of the scorpion, the daughter of Ra. Hail, ye gods, sweet is your smell. Twice, hail, flame coming forth from the horizon. Hail, thou who art in the town. May lead me the guardian of this corner there. O grant to me thy two hands that I may pass the time in the island of flame. I have travailed with an order, I have come having its report. May one open to me, how shall I tell what I have seen there? I was like Horus, the prince of the divine boat. Was given to him the throne of his father, and such that son of Na possessed the calamity which he had made for himself. Give judgment upon me, being in Sekhem. I stretch out my two arms to Osiris. I pass on to judgment. I have come to say, grant that I may pass, that I may report my message. I enter being judged, coming out distinguished. At door that of Nebuchadnezzar, I am here at place of passage. At great, I have destroyed my defects. I have made an end of my wickedness. I have annihilated the faults which belong to me. I myself am here. I am mighty. O doorkeepers, I have made the way. I am like unto you. I have come forth by day. I have walked upon my two legs. I have obtained a power over the step of the shining ones. I know, even I, the ways, secrets of the doors of the Sekhet Aru. May I rise up there. May it be granted to me that I may come and that I may overthrow my enemies upon earth, though my body buried it is. If be known book this, he shall come forth by day in the underworld. He shall go in after he hath come forth. If be not known chapter this, not shall he enter in after he hath come forth. He shall not come forth by day. Chapter of making the transformation into a hawk of gold, saith Osiris Ani. Ani, may I rise, even I, in the Sekhet chamber, like a hawk of gold, coming forth from his egg. May I fly, may I alight like a hawk of cubits, 7 at his back. His two wings being of mother of emerald of the south, may I come forth from the Sekhet boat. May be brought to me my heart from the mountain of the east. May I alight on the Attet boat, and may be brought to me those who are in their cycles with bowings there. May I rise, even I. May I gather myself together like a hawk, beautiful of gold, with the head of a phoenix, entering to Ra, Ami, Tepa, Hemzah. May I sit down among gods, those the great ones of Nut. It is placed for me a field, and offerings are before me. May I eat in it. May I be glorious in it. May I be filled according to what wisheth to receive my heart. May be given to me divine wheat for my mouth. May I obtain power through myself over the keeper of my head. Chapter of making the transformation into a hawk divine, saith Osiris Ani. Hail, mighty one, come then to tattoo. Arrange for me the ways. Make thou me to go round my thrones. May I renew myself, may I be strong. O grant thou my fear, create thou my terror. May fear me the gods of the underworld. They fight in their habitations for me. Let not come near me him that would do harm to me. May I walk through the house of darkness. May I clothe myself, the feeble one, and hide. Therefore doing even as they, O ye gods, who hear speech, ye chiefs, who are among the followers of Osiris. Be silent, therefore, ye. O gods, speaketh to God with me. He heareth right and true. What I speak to him, speak for me then, Osiris. Grant thou the revolution coming forth from thy mouth in respect of me. May I see thy form as thy own. May I understand thy soul. Grant thou that I may come forth, and that I may obtain power over my legs. May I be there like Nebuchadnezzar upon his throne. May fear me the gods of the Tuat. May they fight at their gates for me. Grant thou that I may pass along. Thereby with the divine beings who rise, may I be established upon my stand like Nabank. May I be joined with Isis, the divine lady. May they make me strong against the doer of injury to me. May not one come to see my feebleness. May I pass along. May I come into the remotest parts of the heaven. I entreat speech with the Seb. I supplicate who with Neber Etrasher, that may fear me the gods of the Tuat, and that they may fight at their gates for me, when they see that thou hast given birds and fish to me. I am one of those shining beings who live in light. I have made my forms like his forms in his coming and in his appearance, and tattoo, for I have become worthy through his worth. He hath spoken to thee of my matters. How hath he given fear of me? He hath created terror of me. Fear me, the gods of the Tuat. Late 26. And they fight for me. I am in very truth, I am a shining being, and dweller in light. It hath been created and hath come into existence from the limbs of the God. I am one of those shining beings who dwell in light, whom hath created Tamu himself, and who hath come into existence from the eyelashes of his eye. He maketh to come into existence, he maketh glorious. It maketh to those be distinguished their faces when they exist within him. Behold him, the only one, and new. They do homage to him, as he cometh forth from the horizon, and they set the fear of him in the gods and the shining beings who have come into existence with him. I am the one among the worms which created the eye of the Lord, the only one. Behold not, having come into existence, Isis, not being born Horus. I had become strong and flourished. I had grown old. I was greater than those who were among the shining beings, who came into existence with him, and I, even I, arose in the form of a hawk, divine, and made me worthy of honor, Horus as his soul, to take possession of the things of Osiris and the Tuat. He hath spoken, the devil lion god, to me, the chief of that which appertaineth to the house of the Nemesis crown, which is in his whole hiding place. Get thee back into the heights of heaven, inasmuch as thou, behold, hast become worthy in thy forms, that Horus, not in the Nemesis, for the speeches to thee to the limits of heaven. I am the guardian, taketh possession of the things, Horus of Osiris and the Tuat. Crieth out to me, Horus, what had said to me his father Osiris in years on the day of the sepulchre of Osiris. I give to thee by myself the Nemes of the double lion god, which is to me that thou mayest pass onward, and thou mayest come over the way of heaven, may see thee those who are in the limits of the horizon, may fear thee the gods of the Tuat, they fear at their doors for thee. Ahet belongeth to them, have fallen before my words, the gods of the lords of boundaries, the guardians of the shrine of the Lord, the only one. Hail, the exalted one. Upon his chest is for me, he hath bound on for me the Nemesis crown, hath decreed the double lion god, hath made for me a way. I am exalted, hath found on the double lion god the Nemesis crown. For me hath been given to me my hair, he hath established for me my heart through his back, and through his might great, not shall I fall. Through Shu, I am Hetep, Lord of the Uri, adored, I know who is his breath in my body, not shall I be repulsed by the bowl of hair. I shall come daily into the house of the double lion god. I shall come forth from it into the house of Isis. I shall see the holy things hidden. I shall pass through the holy rites hidden. I shall see what is there. Shall my words complete the majesty of Shu? They shall repulse the moment I am, Horus the dweller in his splendors. I have gained possession of his tiara. I have gained possession of his rays of light. I have traveled over the uttermost parts of heaven. Is Horus upon his throne? Is Horus upon his seat? Is my face like that of a hawk? Divine, I am one equipped of his Lord. I have come from Tattoo. I have seen Osiris. I have risen up upon both sides of him. Not they see me. I see the gods of the Eye of Horus have consumed me, Kemti and Ma. They stretch out their two arms to me. I rise up, I gain the power over, and I repulse the evil which is against me. They open to me the ways holy, they see my form, they hear my words spoken to their faces, O gods of the Tuat, who repulse my face, who resist the mighty ones, have led me the stars which never rest. I have made the ways holy of the Hematet to your Lord of soul, great of terror, hath commanded for me, Horus, to lift up your faces, that you may see me. I have risen like a hawk divine, hath distinguished me, Horus, like his soul, to take possession of things his of Osiris and the Tuat. I have made the way, I have traveled, I have arrived at those who live in their caverns, guarding the house of Osiris. I speak to them of his power, I make them to know the fearful power of him provided with horns against Sot. They know who hath carried off the divine food which had brought the power to move. A coming happy, they had proclaimed the gods of the Tuat for me. They have magnified their names, those who live in their caverns, guarding the house of Osiris. Grant ye to me that I may come to you. I bind up, I gather together your powers, I order the powers of the ways of those who guard the horizon of the Hamatet of heaven. I have prepared their doors for Osiris, I have ordered the ways for him, I have done the commands, I have come forth from Tatu. I have seen Osiris, I have spoken to him concerning the things of the soul. This, the prince whom he loveth, a wound is in the heart of Sut. I have seen the Lord of initiation. Oh, I have made them to know the plans of the gods, wrought by Horus, at the instance of his father Osiris. Hail, Lord, soul, mighty of terror. Let me, even me, come, let me lift myself up. I have passed through the Tuat. I have opened the ways of the guardians of heaven, of the guardians of earth. I have not been repulsed there. I have lifted up thy face, O Lord of eternity. Thou art exalted upon thy throne, Osiris. Thou hearest joyful things, Osiris. Vigorous is thy strength, Osiris. Bound to thee is thy head, Osiris. Established is for thee thy brow, Osiris. Joyful is thy heart. Be thou pleased, establish gladness for thy ministries. Thou art established with the ball of Amaneta. Thy son Horus is crowned on thy throne. All life is with him. Thy sons and him are given millions of years. The fear of him is for millions of years. Fear him, the cycle of the gods. Thy soul to it is given. Power great of the cycle of the gods. Not change of peace is worth the food and the altar is Horus. I go to her to unite myself unto my father. The deliverance from my father is, from my brother is, from my friend is of Horus. Cometh Horus upon the water of his father. He dwelleth in decay. He ruleth Egypt. Thy soul hath given to him the gods of the crown millions of years, and maketh him to live for millions of years. And is I, the only one of his Lord, Techer, Queen of the gods. Chapter of being among the cycle of the gods and being transformed into the prince of the divine chiefs. He saith, comes to thee to move, Lord of heaven, creator of things which exist, coming forth from the earth, making to come into being that which is sown, Lord of things which shall be, begetter of the gods, God great, creator of himself, Lord of life, making to flourish mankind. Homage to you, ye lords of things. Here beings who hide your dwellings, homage to you, ye lords of eternity, who hide your forms, not is known the place from which they are there. Homage to you, ye gods dwellers in the abode of immortality, lands, and ye gods dwellers in the underworld, and the cycle of the gods dwellers in heaven. Grant ye to me that I may come forth. I know you. I am pure. I am divine. I am mighty. I have a soul. I have become powerful. I am glorious. I have brought to you perfume and incense and natron. Destroy ye that which is in your hearts against me. I have come, I have destroyed evil, all which dwelleth in your hearts. I have put away my sins against you. I have brought to you that which is good. I have made to you come to you what is right and true. I know you. I know your names. I know forms your which are not known, coming into being among you. I have come to you. I have risen like a god, that there among men, living among the gods. I am strong before you as God, that who is exalted upon his standard. When he cometh, the gods are in rejoicing. Rejoice in him, goddess, and woman, when they see him, I have come to you. I have risen on the throne of Ra. I sit upon my seat in the horizon. I receive offerings upon my altar. I drink wine each evening as mummy, this of the Lord of mortals. I am exalted like God, that sacred, the Lord of the house great. Rejoice the gods when they see him at his manifestation beautiful. On the body of Nuth giveth him birth, Nuth day every. Page 27, chapter of the transformation into Seta. Saith Osiris, Ani, triumphant, I am Seta, extended of years. I lie down, I am born, day every. I am Seta, the dweller in the limits of the earth. I lie down, I am born, I renew myself. I become young, day every. Chapter of making the transformation into a crocodile, saith Osiris Ani, triumphant. I am the crocodile within his terrors. I am the crocodile god. I bring destruction. I am the fish, great in canoe. I am the lord of homage in Sekhem. And Osiris, Ani, is the lord of homage in Sekhem. Chapter of the transformation into Ptah, saith Osiris Ani. I eat bread, I drink beer, I put on raiment, I fly like a hawk, I cackle like a goose. I alight upon the way, near the funeral mountain on the festival of the Great One. What is evil doubly, not have I eaten? What is foul, not have I swallowed it? What abomination my conduct hath entered it into my body? I live then according to what now the gods glorious. I live and I obtain power from their bread. I obtain power as I eat it beneath the foliage of the tree of Hathor, my lady. I make an offering bread in tattoo and oblations in Anu. I array myself in the coverings of Matate. I stand up and I sit down, wherever desireth my heart there. My head is like that of Ra. I have gathered myself together to move the four quarters of Ra on the extent of the earth. I come forth, my tongue is of Ptah, my throat is of Hathor. I make mention of the words of Tamu, my father, with my mouth. He constraineth the servant, the wife of Seb, are broken down, hits to him, terrors to him. There, I recited hymns of praise at my acts of strength. I am accounted the heir of the Lord of the earth, of Seb, the protector, giveth water, Seb. He giveth to me his risings. Bow down to me, those who are in Anu. Their heads, I am their ball. Becoming strong, moment by moment, I copulate. I have gained strength for millions of years. Chapter of making the transformation into the soul to move. Saith Osiris the scribe, Ani, triumphant. I have not gone into a house of destruction. I have not come to an end. I have not known it. I am Ra, coming forth from Nu, the soul that is divine, the creator of his members. Abomination to me is sin. Not do I look upon it, not do I cry against right and truth. I live in it. I am who never doth he fail in my name. As of soul I have created myself with new in my name of Papyrus. I come into being in it in the form of Ra. I am the Lord of light. What I hate is burial, not to let me enter into the cavern of Tuah. I ascribe glory to Osiris and pacify the hearts of those who dwell among things. The divine friends give they fear of me. Create they terror of me, and those who are in their corners behold me. I am exalted upon my standard new, upon the place adjudged to me. I am new, not shall overthrow me those who do evil. I am the eldest born of unformed matter. My soul is the gods, who are the souls of eternity. I am the creator of darkness, making his place in the confines of the sky. I come, my soul advanceth over the way of the aged ones. I make darkness in the confines of the sky. If I wish I arrived at their boundaries, I walk upon my legs. I am strong, sailing over the sky, warping I fetter with hands the darkness and the worms hidden. I extend my steps to the Lord of the twofold strength. My soul is the soul of my body, is the Urias. My form is forever the Lord of years, the Prince of eternity. I am the exalted one and the Lord of the earth. I am exalted. I become young in the towns. I grow young in my province. My name is not Sippeth my name. I am the soul, the creator of new, making his seat in the underworld. Not has seen my nest, not has cracked my egg. I am Lord of millions of years. I make my nest in the limits of the sky. I descend to the earth of Seb. I destroy my defects. I see my father, the Lord of Mash, breatheth his body. And Anu, I am provided by Kenemu and Ku at the burial place of Amenta. Chapter of making the transformation into a Bennu, saith Osiris the scribe Annie. Triumphant in peace, I came in being from unformed matter. I came into existence as Capoeira. I grew in the form of plants. I am hidden in the tortoise. I am of the atoms of God every. I am yesterday, this was the four, and Uri, seven, these which came into existence in the east. I am the mighty one, illumining the Hamanet. Not by his body, God he is as Seth, decided concerning them by judgment that of the dweller in Shechem, together with the spirits of Anu, sailing among them. I have come, I am crowned, I am glorious, I am mighty, I am strong among the gods, I am Kensu, repulsing all. If be known chapter this, the purified one shall come forth by day after his burial, and shall make the transformations according to the wish of his heart, and shall be among the servants of Unnether, and shall be satisfied with the food of Osiris, and set ethereal meals, and shall see the disk, shall go forth over the earth with Ra. Being triumphant before Osiris, not shall have power, bring any evil over him forever and ever, millions of times. Plate 28. Chapter of making the transformation into a sent bird, saith Osiris, the scribe Annie. I have obtained the mastery over the animals with the knife in their heads, and their locks of hair, who live among their emeralds, the aged and the shining beings, who prepare the moment of Osiris Annie, triumphant in peace. He maketh slaughter upon earth, and conversely, I am strong. I have made a passage exalted into heaven. I am purified. I have made prolong my footsteps to my town, possessing my glory to Sepu. I have placed the being who is in Unu. I have set the gods upon their ways. I have made glorious the temples of those who live in their shrines. I know not, I know Tatuin, I know Tesher. I have wrought along their horns. I know Heka. I hear his words. I am the calf, red, which is in the writings. The gods say when they hear, let us abase our faces, let them come to me. There is light without you. My seasons are in my body. I do not speak evil in the place of right and truth, every day advancing in right and truth, being shrouded in darkness, sailing to keep the festival of the dead one. Embracing the old man, the guardian of the earth, Osiris, the scribe Ami, triumphant, I have not entered into the cavern of the starry deities. I have ascribed glory to Osiris. I have pacified the heart of those deities who follow him. Not am I afraid of those who create terror, or of those who live on the land. Behold me, I am exalted upon my standard. Upon my seat I am new. Not shall I be overthrown by the doer of evil. I am Shu of primeval matter. My soul is the God, my soul is eternity. I am the creator of the darkness, making its place in the bounds of the sky, the prince of eternity. I am the exalted one in Nebu. I become young in the town. I become young in my province. My name is not Setting. My name is Sol, creator of new, making his seat in the underworld. Not has seen my nest, not cracked have I my egg. I am the Lord of millions of years. I have made my nest on the borders of the sky. I come down to the earth of Seb. I destroy my defects. I see my father as the Lord of Shatet, has concerning Osiris, Ani. His body is in Anu, ordered by those who are with Hugh at the burial place of Amenta, a messenger. Chapter of making the transformation into the lotus, saith Osiris Ani. I am the lotus, pure, coming forth from the god of light, the guardian of the nostril of Ra, the guardian of the nose of Hathor. I make my journey, I run after him who is Horus. I am the pure one, coming forth from the field. chapter of making the transformation into the God who giveth light into darkness, saith Osiris the scribe, Enemy, triumphant. I am the girdle, the garment of new, shining, shedding light, the guardian of the four parts, passing into the darkness, uniting the two factors who live in my body with the enchantment mighty of my utterance, raising him that hath fallen, he who was with him in the valley of Abydos. I rest, I have remembered him. I have carried away the God who from my town found I him in it. I have led away the darkness by my might. I have bound up the eye in its failing. As the coming of the 15th day of the festival, I have laid set in the houses upper by the aged one with him. I have provided cloth in the house of the moon god. At the coming of the 15th day of the festival, I have carried off the crown. Our right and truth in my body, and the emeralds and crystals of their mouths, is my estate there among the lapis lazuli in its furrows. I am the woman who lighteth the darkness. I have come to the lighten the darkness. It is lightened doubly. I have lightened the darkness. I have overthrown the destroyers. I have adored those who are in the darkness. I have made to stand those who weep, who hid their faces, who had sunk down. They looked upon me then. I am a woman, not have I caused that ye should hear concerning her. Plate 29. Chapter of not dying a second time, saith Osiris Ani, triumphant. Hail, Thoth, what is that which hath happened to the children of Nut? They have done battle, they have supported strife, they have done evil, they have created the fiends, they have made slaughter, they have created troubles. But surely they have worked the mighty against the weak in deeds their all. Grant then might of Thoth, what hath decreed to move? Not seest thou evil, not art thou enraged when they confuse their years and go in among their months, because they have done iniquity, secret in what they have done against thee all. I am thy pallet, O God, I have brought to thee thy ink jar. Not am I among those who work iniquity. In their secret places not may be done iniquity to me, saith Osiris Ani. Ani, hail to move. What is this to which I have come into it? But surely without water it is, without air it is, deep doubly, darkened doubly, remote doubly. Who liveth in it is in peace of heart, not, but not, are performed love joys in it. May there be given to me splendor in the place of water and air, and love joys, peace of heart in the place of bread and beer, hath decreed it to move the seeing of thy face. Surely not shall I suffer from the things which pain thee. God every shall transmit his thrones during millions of years. Is thy throne to thy son Horus? Decreed hath to move that shall be surely his career among the princely ones. But he shall rule over thy throne. He shall be the heir of the throne of the dweller in the lake of double fire. It is decreed, but that he may regard me as his second, that my face shall see the face of the Lord. To move, what then is my duration in life? It is decreed that thou art for millions of years, a duration of millions of years. I have granted that he may pass on to the princely ones. I am but doing away with what I did all when earth this was coming from new, out of the watery abyss like unto its former state. I am Fate and Osiris. I have made my transformations into other serpents. Not know they mankind, not can perceive they the gods. The double beauty which I have made for Osiris, greater is he than gods all. I have granted to him to rule in the underworld, but his son Horus is as his heir upon the throne within the lake of double fire. I have made but his seat in the boat of millions of years, his course established upon his throne, with his friends in possessing his remains, but hath departed the soul of such greater greater than the gods Olata, Amanenta. May it be granted to me to find his soul in the boat of the sun at his will. Fear, divine members, O my father Osiris, hast done thou for me what did for thee. Thy father Ra, may I abide upon the earth, may I possess my throne, may be strong my heir, may make green my tomb. My friends who are upon earth may be given, my enemies over to the destruction of self. For her their fettering, I am thy son, my father is Ra. Thou hast made for me this same life, strength, health, is Horus established upon his throne. Grant thou the course of my life may be that of advancing to a state of being venerated. Plate 30. Chapter of entering into the hall of Double Mati, a hymn of praise to Osiris, the dweller in Amentet. Saith Osiris the scribe, Annie, triumphant I have come advancing to see thy beauties. My two hands are held up in acclamation of thy name, righteous. I have come advancing. Not hath come into existence the ash tree, not hath been produced the shint tree, not hath created the ground the azure plants. Now I have entered into a place of hidden things. I have spoken with stuff. My friend hath entered to me, clothing his face, falling down upon the things which are hidden. He hath entered into the house of Osiris, he hath seen the hidden things which are in it. Other divine chiefs of the pylons in the form of beautified spirits hath spoken of Nubis on both sides of him, with the word of a man at his coming from Tamara. He knoweth our paths and our towns. Offerings are made to me, I smell his smell as one of you. Saith he to me, I am Osiris the scribe, Annie, triumphant in peace, triumphant. I have come advancing to see the gods great, and I live upon the offerings which eat their doubles. I have been to the borders of the ram, lord of Tattoo. Be granted that I might come forth as of a new bird, that I might speak. I have been in the water of the river. I have made offerings with incense. I have made my way by the shent tree of the children. I have been in Abydos, in the temple of Satet. I have submerged the boats of my enemies. I have sailed forth upon the lake in the Neshem boat. I have seen the noble ones of Khmer. I have been in Tattoo and have brought myself to silence. I have placed the image of the god upon his 2 feet. I have been with Tattoo, and I have seen the dweller in the divine abode. I have entered into her Asar, and I have draped myself in the peril of him who is there. I have entered into Rasa, and I have seen the hidden things which are there. I was hidden, but I found a passage. I have entered into Arut, and I have put on the clothes which are there over my nakedness. Hath been given to me, and unguent of woman with the earth of mankind. Verily, Seth hath spoken to me the things concerning himself. I have said, let thy weighing be within us, saith the majesty of Anubis. Art thou knowing the name of the door? This hath declared to me, saith Osiris the scribe, Ame, triumphant in peace, triumphant. This driver away of Shu is the name of the door, saith the majesty of Anubis. Art thou knowing the name of the leaf upper and the leaf lower? Lord of right, upon his 2 feet is the name of the leaf upper. Lord of might, disposer of cattle in the name of the leaf lower. Ask then, thou knowest, O Osiris, the scribe accountant of the divine offerings of the gods, all of Thebes, Annie, triumphant, Lord of veneration. To be said when one comes to a whole, this of double mati of separating one from sins, all which he hath done, and of seeing of the God heavy the faces. Hail, God great, Lord of Mati, I have come to thee, my Lord. I have brought myself that I may see thy beauties. I know the name of the gods 42 who exist with thee in all this of Machti, and of who live as the punisher is of sinners, who live upon their blood one day, that of computing dispositions before Unnatheru. Verily, Rekiti, Murti, and Mat is thy name, verily. I have come to thee, I have brought to thee that, I have driven away for thee wickedness. I have not done iniquity to mankind, not have I done harm unto animals, not have I done wickedness in the place of that, not have I known evil, not have I acted wickedly, not have I done each day and every works above what I should do, not hath come forth my name to the vote of the prince, not have I despised God, not have I caused misery, not have I caused affliction, not have I done what is abominable to God, not have I caused harm to be done to the servant by his chief, not have I caused pain, not have I made to weep, not have I killed, not have I made the order for killing for me, not have I done harm to mankind, not have I taken aught of the oblations in the temples, not have I purloined the cakes of the gods, not have I carried off the offerings of the blessed dead, not have I fornicated, not have I defiled myself, not have I added to, not have I diminished the offerings, not have I stolen from the orchard, not have I trampled down the fields, I have not added to the weight of the balance, not have I diminished from the weight of the balance, not have I carried off for the milk from the mouth of the babe, not have I driven away the cattle which were upon their pastures, not have I captured the birds of the preserves of the gods, not have I taken fishes with faith of their own bodies, not have I turned back water at its season, not have I cut a cutting in water running, not have I extinguished a flame at its hour, not have I violated the times for the chosen offerings, not have I driven back the cattle of divine things. I have not repulsed God in his manifestations. Even I, am pure. Times 4. I am pure with the purity of the new, that grace which is in the Sutan because I am, behold, knows that of the Lord of winds, making to live mortals, all on day that of filling the Uchat and Heliopolis, and month second of the season of the coming forth to the end. Before the Lord of this earth I see the filling of the Uchat and Heliopolis, not let be done evil to me in land. This in whole, this of double mat, because I know the name of these gods who are in it, the followers of the God great. Late 31. Hail, Strider, coming forth from Anu. Not have I done wrong. Hail, embraced with lamb, coming forth from Paraba. Not have I despoiled. Hail unto you, nose, coming forth from Kemenenu. Not have I robbed. Hail, eater of shades, coming forth from Kernet. Not have I slain men twice. Hail, Nahaphara, coming forth from Restad. Not have I defrauded the offerings. Hail, double lion God, coming forth from heaven, not have I diminished oblations. Hail, whose two eyes are of fire, coming forth from Soth. Not have I despoiled the things of the God. Hail, flame, coming forth and going back, not have I spoken lies. Hail, breaker of bones, coming from Sutan not have I carried off food. Hail, shooter forth of flame, coming forth from Memphis, not have I afflicted any. Hail, Tuateri, coming forth from Amentet, not have I committed fornication. Hail, whose face is behind him, coming forth from his cavern, not have I made to weep. Hail, Bast, coming forth from the secret place, not have I eaten my heart. Hail, blazing legs, coming forth from the darkness, not have I transgressed. Hail, eater of blood, coming forth from the block, not have I acted deceitfully. Hail, eater of intestines, coming forth from Mabet, not have I desolated followed lands. Hail, Lord of Math, coming forth from Math, not have I been an eavesdropper. Hail, strider backwards, coming forth from past, not have I set my mouth in motion against any man. Hail, Seratu, coming forth from Anu, not have I raged except for cause. Hail, doubly wicked, coming forth from Acti, not have I defiled the wife of a man. Hail, double serpent, coming forth from the torture chamber, not have I defiled the wife of a man. Hail, looker at what is rotten, coming forth from Per Amsu, not have I polluted myself. Hail, chief of the mighty, coming forth from Amt, not have I caused hair. Hail, Chemio, coming forth from Cusio, not have I committed offense. Hail, disposer of speech, coming forth from Ur, not have I inflamed myself with rage. Hail, babe, coming forth from Uab, not have I made death myself to the words of right and truth. Hail, Canamenti, coming forth from Canamet, not have I caused grief. Hail, bringer of his offerings, coming forth from Salas, not have I acted insolently. Hail, disposer of speech, coming forth from Unaset, not have I stirred up strife. Hail, lord of faces, coming forth from Nechepet, not have I judged hastily. Hail, Sekheru, coming forth from Utin, not have I been an eavesdropper. Hail, lord of two horns, coming forth from Sias, not have I multiplied my words. Upon words, hail Nefertemu, coming forth from Memphis, not have I harmed, not have I done evil. Plate 32. Hail Temu in the seasons, coming forth from Tattoo, not have I made curses of the king. Hail working in his heart, coming forth from Tabu, not have I fouled water. Hail cistern bearer, coming forth from Nu, not have I made haughty my voice. Hail provider of mankind, coming forth from Sias, not have I cursed God. Hail Nehed Kaf, coming forth from his caravan, not have I committed theft. Hail Nehepeter, coming forth from his cavern, not have I defrauded the offerings of the gods. Hail, arranger of his head, coming forth from his shrine, not have I carried away offerings from the beautified ones. Hail, bringer of his arm, coming forth from the double town of Math, not have I carried off the food of the infant, not have I sinned against the god of the town. Hail, white teeth, coming from Tashi, not have I slaughtered the castle divine. Homage to you, O gods, these. I know you. I know your names. Do not cast me down to your slaughtering knives. Do not bring forward ye my wickedness before God. This whom ye follow him. Let not come my moment before you. Declare ye right and truth for me, before the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, because I have done right and truth in Tamarah. Not have I cursed God, not hath come my moment. Homage to you, O gods, who live your whole of right and truth without evil in their bodies, who live in right and truth, and Anu, who consume their entrails in the presence of Horus and his disk. Deliver ye me from the valley, who upon the intestines of princes. On day that of judgment great by you I have come to you, not have I committed faults, not have I sinned, not have I done evil, not have I borne false witness, not let be done to me anything, therefore I live, and right and truth I feed. Upon right and truth my heart I have done that which commanded men are satisfied to God thereat. I have appeased God by doing his will. I have given bread to the hungry, water to the thirsty, clothes to the naked, and a boat to the shipwrecked. I have made offerings to the gods and sacrificial meals to the shining ones. Deliver ye me, then ye protect me, then ye not make accusation ye against me before the God great. I am pure of mouth, pure of hands. It is said to him come twice by those who see him, because I have heard speech as spoken by the donkey with the carrot in the house of Hepri. I have borne testimony. Before him he hath given the decision. I have seen the division of the Persea trees within Restop. I offer up my prayers in the presence of the gods, knowing what concerneth their persons. I have come advancing to make a declaration of right and truth, to a place the balance upon its supports within the Amaranthine bushes. Hail exalted upon his standard, Lord of the active crown, making his name as the Lord of winds. Deliver me from thy messengers, who make to happen dire deeds, who make to arise calamities without covering upon their faces, because I have done right and truth, O Lord of right and truth, I am here. My breast is washed, my hinder parts are cleansed. My interior hath been in pool of right and truth, without a member in me lacking. I have been purified in the pool 7. I have rested in the Hemet. To the north of the field of the grasshoppers, both the divine sailors in it. At the season of night, to gratify the heart of the gods after I passed over it by night and by day. They grant his coming, they say to me, Who then art thou? Say then to me, What then is thy name? Say they to me, I grow among the flowers, dwelling in the olive tree is my name. Pass on thou forthwith, say they unto me, I have passed by the town north of the bushes. What then didst thou see there? The leg and the thigh. What then didst thou say to them? I saw rejoicing in those lands of the Thanku. What then did give they to thee? A flame it was of fire together with a tablet crystal. What then didst thou do therewith? I buried it by the place of the Mati with the things of the night. What then didst thou find there by the place of the Mati? A scepter of flint, maketh to prevail thee it. What then is the name of the scepter of flint? Giver of winds is its name. What then therefore didst thou do with the flame of fire and with the tablets of crystal after thou didst bury it? I uttered words over it, I adjured it, and I extinguished the fire. I made use of the tablets in creating a pool of water. Come then, pass in over door this of Hall, this of Mati. Thou art knowing us. Not will I let enter thee over me, saith the bolt of door. This, except thou sayest my name. Weight of the place of right and truth is thy name. Not will let I enter thee by me, saith the lintel, right of the door. This, except thou sayest my name. He weigheth the labors of right and truth is thy name. Not will I let enter thee by me, saith the lintel left of the door. This, except thou sayest my name. Judge of wine is thy name. Not will I let pass thee over me, saith the threshold of door. This, except thou sayest my name. Ox of Seb is thy name. Not will I open to thee, saith the bold socket of door. This, except thou sayest my name. Flesh of his mother is thy name. Now will I open to thee, saith the lock of the door. This, except thou sayest my name. Liveth the Uchat of Sebek, the Lord of Bakau is thy name. Not will I open to thee, not will I let pass thee over me, saith the dweller at the leaf of the door. This, except thou tellest my name. Arm of Shu hath placeth itself for the protection of Osiris is thy name. Now will we allow to pass thee by us, say the post of door. This, except thou sayest thy name. Servant children of Renoth are your names. Thou knowest us, pass then by us, not shalt tread thou upon me, saith the floor of Hol. This, except thou sayest my name. I am silent, I am here, because not here we know thy 2 legs, thou treadest upon us within them. Tell then to me, them, traveler before Amsu, is the name of my leg right, grief of the Nephites is the name of my leg left. Tread then upon us, thou knowest us. Not will I question thee, saith the guardian of the door of the hole, except thou sayest my name. Discerner of hearts, searcher of reins, is thy name. I will question thee then. Who is the God dwelling in his hour? Speak thou it. The recorder of the 2 lands. Who then is he? The recorder of the 2 lands. Thoth it is. Come, saith Thoth, come thou hither. I come advancing to the examination. What then is thy condition? I am pure from evil. All. I am protected from the baleful acts of those who live in their days. Not am I among them. I have examined then thee, who goeth down into the flame. His walls are surmounted with urag. Being his paths in the same lake, the traverser Osiris's. Come forward then verily, thou having been examined, is thy bread in the Uchat, and thy beer in the Uchat? I brought out to thee sepulchral offerings upon earth from the Utchat, after created he before me, is the heir of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Nu, is the face of Osiris the scribe Ani, triumphant of Ra, are the eyes of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Hathor, are the ears of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Upa, are the lips of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Anubis, are the teeth of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Serket, is the neck of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Isis, are the two hands of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Ram, the lord of Tatu. As the shoulder of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Uatchit, is the throat of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Mut, are the forearms of Osiris Ani, triumphant of the lady of Sias, is the backbone of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Shut, is the chest of Osiris Ani, triumphant of the lords of Kirabu, is the flesh of Osiris Ani, triumphant of the mighty tree, mighty of terror, are the body and back of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Sekhet, are the buttocks of Osiris Ani, triumphant of the eye of Horus, is the palace of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Osiris, are the hips of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Nut, are the feet of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Ptah, are the fingers of Osiris Ani, triumphant of Sa, are the leg bones of Osiris Ani, triumphant of the Uri living. Chapters of driving back slaughter in Sut and Henan, saith Osiris, land of the scepter, red crown of the statue, divine standard, Haim the child, times 4, hail, goddess ever, thou sayest daily, I provided the block, as thou knowest, thou hast come to decay, thou great one, I establish those who praise me. I am the divine knot within the olive tree, doubly beautiful, of splendor, more than yesterday, times 4, I am Ra, who established those who praise me. I am not within the tamarisk tree, beautiful of splendor, more than yesterday, hath gone forth, Ra, I have gone forth, going forth on day this. My hair is of Nu, my face is of Ra, my 2 eyes are of Hathor, my 2 ears of Apuat, my nose is of Canthships, my 2 lips are of Ampu, my teeth are of Kephura, my neck is of Isis the divine, my 2 hands are of Hanamu, the lord of Tatu, my forearms are of Neith, lady of Sas, my backbone is of Sut, my phallus is of Osiris, my reins are of the lords of Karaba, my chest is of the mighty of Ter, are my belly and my back of Sekhet, my buttocks are of the eye of Horus, my hips and legs are of Nut, are my feet of Ptah, are my fingers, are my leg bones of the Uri living, not a member in me is without a God. Thoth is protecting my flesh entirely. I am Ra, day every. Not shall I be seized by my arms, not shall I be carried away by my hand. Not shall doom in gods, shining ones, the dead, ancient ones, any mortal, any Hamamut, any harm, any unto me. I come forth advancing. Unknown is his name. I am yesterday. Seer of millions of years is my name. Traveling twice along the way of Horus, the judge I am. The Lord of eternity. I feel, I perceive. I am the Lord of the crown. I am in the Utchat and in my egg twice. It is granted to me to live with them. I am in the Utchat, in its closing. I exist by its strength. I come forth, and I shine. I go in, and I come to life. I am in the Utchat. My seat is on my throne. I sit in the pupil of the eye by it. I am Horus, traversing millions of years. I have commanded my seat. I rule it by my mouth. Speaking in silence, I maintain an exact balance. Verily, my forms are inverted. I am the god Umen, season from season. What is his is in him. I am one, coming from one. He revolveth. I am in the Utchat. Not are my things evil or hostile. Not are they against me. I open the door in heaven. I rule upon the throne, opening births. On day this, I am not the child walking upon the road of yesterday. I am day this for peoples upon peoples. I it is who makes strong you for millions of years. if ye are in heaven, or in earth, in the south, or in the north, or in the west, or in the east, my fear is in your bodies. I am the fair one in his eye, not shall I die. A second time, my moment is in your bodies. My forms are in my habitation. I am he who is not known. The rosy-faced beings are with me. I am the unveiled, not as found, a season wherein he made for me a heaven, enlarging the bounds of the earth, and making great its births, removing, not uniting, passeth away my name from things all evil through the word which I speak unto you. I am he who riseth and shineth wall of walls, only one from only one, not as Ra without thou, which belongeth to him, passing away twice. Verily I say, I am the plant which cometh forth from new. My mother is not hail, my creator. I am he who is without his power of walking, the not great within yesterday, whose my power bound up within my hand. Not known am I, he knoweth thee, not grasped am I, he graspeth thee. Egg, twice I am horse dwelling for millions of years, his flame is upon your faces. Burning in their hearts, I commanded my throne. I advanced that season this. The ways I have opened, I have turned myself away from evil all. I am the eighth, of gold, of 3 palms and 2 fingers. Exist not his legs, exist not his arms. Dwelling in the temple of Ptah, I go forth in the going of the eighth, of gold, of 3 palms and 2 fingers. Exist not his legs, exist not his arms. Dwelling in the temple of Ptah. Being said, this chapter thou shalt open away and shalt go in. Plate 33. See Osiris Ame triumphant, girt about is he with raiment, shod with sandals, white anointed with the finest oil of Anta Ungenent, have been offered to him of all vegetables, incense, ducks, offerings of flowers, beer, to be done as one comes to the hall of Mati, shall say a man chapter this, cleansed, purified. He shall be girt about his garments of the finest quality, shod with white sandals, the eyes smeared with eye paint, anointed with the finest of Anta Unguent, must be offered unto him of all vegetables, ducks, incense, cakes, beer, herbs. Behold, thou must make a picture. This is in writing, etc., and vegetables. Behold, thou must make the image of a table of offerings and writing upon a tile, fear with color, fear, and bury it in a field which hath not trodden a pig upon it. If he made writing this, upon it shall rise and shall flourish. The children of children, him as flourisheth Ra, without intermission. He shall be in of heart of the king among his chiefs, shall be given to him cakes and vessels of water, and joints meat upon the tables of the god great. Not separated is he from door any of Amentet. Shall go along he with kings, he shall be with the followers of Osiris near Unnefer, and unbroken regularly millions of times. To be said, hail ye apes, for these who sit in the bows of Ra, making to advance the right and truth of Nebet Asher, who judge my weakness and my strength, who pacify the gods by the flame of your mouth, who give offerings of iron to the gods, and set the hero meals to the shining ones, who live upon right and truth without deceit. They abominate wickedness, destroy my evil, blot out my offenses, may be removed my wounds upon earth, destroy evil, all belonging to me. Enter in then without obstruction. They deny of any belonging to thee. Grant thee that I may pass through the hole of the tomb. May I go into reach thou. May I pass through the doors hidden of Amentet. May be given to me offerings and cakes, things all like those shining ones who are entering and coming out from Resetet and passing the chapter of a tet of gold, saith Osiris Ani, triumphant. Thou risest for thyself, O still heart, thou shinest for thyself, O still heart. Place thou thyself upon thy side. I have come, and I have brought to thee a tet of gold. Rejoice thou in it. Thou hast thy backbone, O still heart, thou hast thy sinews, O still heart. They are at thy side. I have given moisture unto thee. Verily I have brought to thee the tet, rejoice thou in it. The rubric reads, shall be set after this over its heads of gold, laid upon a body of sycamore wood, washed in water of acan flowers, and placed on the neck of a shining one. This he shall enter through the doors of the underworld. After his speech, words, he shall place himself upon his side. This among the followers of Osiris, the chapter of a buckle of carnelian, saith Osiris, and a triumphant of blood of Isis, the enchantments of Isis, the power of Isis are our protection of sheep. This the destroying of what he abominateth. It is, shall be said, chapter this over a buckle of red jasper dipped in the water of acan flowers, and inlaid in a heart of sycamore, placed on the neck of shining one. This, if we down for him, chapter this is becometh the power of Isis. To protect him rejoiceth Horus, the son of Isis, when he seeth as not as blocked way any against him. His hand is to heaven, his hand is to earth. If be known chapter this, he shall be in following of Osiris, when the fair triumphant shall be opened to him. Doors in the underworld shall be given to him, an allotment of ground with wheat and barley in the field of Hanareth. Shall be his name like that of the gods, who are there, say the Horus followers, when they reap. The chapter of a heart of carnelian, saith Osiris, and a triumphant, I am the phoenix, the soul of Ra, the guide of the gods to the twelfth, who they come forth the souls upon earth to do the will of their cause. Cometh the soul of Osiris Ani to do the will of his cause. The chapter of the pillow, placed under the head of Osiris Ani, triumphant to remove disasters from the dead body of Osiris. Lift thou up thy head unto the horizon, I have fastened together thee in triumphant, hath thrown, overthrown Ptah enemies, his and thine are enemies, his fallen. Thus shall they rise up, O Osiris, saith Isis, I have come that I may be thy protector. I waft to thee winds to thy nose, and the north winds to thy nostrils coming forth from Tem. I have collected for thee thy lungs, I have granted that thou mayest be as a god. Thine enemies have fallen under thy feet. Thou hast been made the triumphant, nothing powerful of the gods. Saith Anubis, dwelling in the place of the funeral chief of the divine house, he placeth his two hands upon the Lord of life. He supplieth him with what belongeth to him. Hail to thee, fair one, O Lord, seen by the Utachat, bound up by the Ptah scepter, gathered together by Anpu, Shu, lifted up with the fair one, the Prince of Eternity. Thine eyes are to thee, thy eye right is in the Sekteth quote, thy eye left is in the Ateth quote. Are thine eyebrows and sides fair before the cycle of the gods? Is thy brow in the protection of Anubis? Is the back of thy head in fair state with the hawk sacred? Are thy fingers established by writings before the Lord of Kemenanu? Thoth giveth the speech of the divine looks. Is thy hair in a fair state before Ptah sacred? Is Osiris in reverence happy before the cycle of the gods great? He seeth the god great. He is guided along ways fair. Thou art fortified with sepulchral meals. Overthrown for him are his enemies beneath him. Before the cycle of the gods great in the house of the prince great in Anu. Saith to Osiris Ani, triumphant Nephthys, I have gone round behind my brother Osiris. I have come to be in thy protection behind thee. The two lands are in homage at thy cry. How triumphant in them art thou. I have bound up thee, making thee victorious over what hath been done to thee. Overthrown hath Ptah thy enemy. I am protecting thee with flame. This driving away one from the valley of the tomb, driving away one by the sand of their feet. Sick, I embrace Osiris Ani. Triumphant in peace and right and truth, saith Osiris Ani. Triumphant, I have come to make division. I am not divided. No, will I let be divided thee. I have come to do violence, not will I let be done violence to thee. I am protecting thee. Adoration to Ra, when he riseth from the horizon of the east of the heaven by Osiris Ani. Triumphant. Adoration to Ra, when he setteth in the horizon western of heaven, saith Osiris Ani. Triumphant in the peace and underworld. I am a soul perfect, saith Osiris Ani. In triumph, I am a soul perfect in divine egg, this of the Abtu fish. I am the cat, grace dwelling in the seat of right and truth, where riseth true in it. The overseer Osiris Ani. Triumphant, fell shafty figure. This if be decreed, Osiris, if he be adjudged, to do labors any which are to be done. In the underworld, be taken down obstructions there for a person beneath him to make grow, the fields to fill with water, the canals to carry sand from east to west. I will work. Verily I am here when thou callest there. Saith Mesta, I am Mesta, thy son of Osiris, and he triumph. I have come that I may be forsaking thee. I make to flourish thy house lastingly. I have commanded Ptahs, I have commanded Ra himself. Saith happy, I am happy, thy son of Osiris, and he triumphant. I have come that I may be protecting thee. Around for thee the head and thy limbs. I have smitten down for thee thine enemies beneath thee. I have given to thee the head forever twice, O Osiris, and he triumphant in peace. Saith Tiamat, I am thy son, Horus, thy beloved. I have come to avenge thy father, Osiris, from the doer of evil to him. I have set him under thy feet forever, twice everlastingly. Twice, O Osiris, and he triumphant in peace. Saith whoever sinneth, I am thy son, O Osiris, and he triumphant. I have come that I may be protecting thee. I have collected thy bones. I have gathered together for thee thy members, Osiris, as great who is in the place of right and truth too. I have come driving back for thee, kept living, illumining this sanctuary. I am standing behind the divine tent on the day of driving back disaster. I am for thy protection of Osiris. Plate 35. The beginning of the chapters of the Sekhet Hetetu, and the chapters of coming forth by day, and of going in, and of coming out from the underworld, and of arriving in Sekhet Anaru, and of being in peace in the town of Rate, the Lady of Winds. Let me have power there, let me be strong there, that I may plow there. Let me reap there, let me eat there, let me drink there, as they are done all upon earth, saith Osiris Ani. Ani, triumphant, hath carried away Horus, set to look upon the building, in the field of Petepet, distributing winds upon the divine soul in his day in the divine egg. He hath delivered the interior of the body of Horus. I, even I, have found him in the house of Shu, the house of his stars. I behold repose in his seasons. He hath passed through the Met district of the cycle of the gods, his aged ones. He pacifieth the divine fighters who keep guard upon life. He hath made what is fair. Bringing an offering, he pacifieth the divine fighters over what belongeth to them. He hath cut off the lots from their adversaries. He hath made an end of disasters from their children. He hath removed the injury of their souls. May I gain the power over it. May I know it. I have sailed in its waters, that I may come forth to its towns. I have power over my mouth, being provided with enchantments. Not let have power them over me, the shining ones. Not let have power them over me. May I be equipped there in fields by Petep. What thou wishest mayest thou do. Plate 35. Saith Osiris Ani, triumphant, homage to thee, who art the Lord of right and truth, the One, the Lord of eternity, the Maker of everlastingness. I have come to thee, O my Lord Ra. I have made food offerings to the Lord of the cows, 7 together with the bowl belonging thereto. O ye who give cakes and ale to the shining ones, grant ye to my soul to be with you. May he come into being upon your thighs. May he be like one of you forever and forever. May he be glorious and Amenta, the beautiful, Osiris Ani triumphant. Plate 36. Hail, power beautiful, rudder beautiful of heaven north. Hail, revolver of heaven, pilot of the two earths. Rudder beautiful of heaven west. Hail, shining one, above the temple of the gods in visible forms. Rudder beautiful of heaven east. Hail, dweller above the temple of sand. Rudder beautiful of heaven south. Hail, ye gods above the earth, pilots of the underworld. Hail, ye gods, mothers who are above the earth, who are in the underworld and in the house of Osiris twice. Hail, ye gods, pilots of Tessert, who are above the earth, pilots of the underworld. Hail, followers of Ra, who are in the train of Osiris. A hymn of praise to Osiris, dweller in Amentet, Nefer, within Abydos. Osiris, Ani, triumphant, saith he, Hail, my Lord, traversing eternity, his existence being forever, Lord of lords, King of kings, Prince, God of gods, who live with you they. I have come to thee, gods, men, make thou for me a seat with them in the underworld. They adore the images of thy Ka, who are among those who come for millions of years, arriving, coming into port, which is in the body, not may rise, delay in Tamarera. There grant thou that they may come to thee, all of them, great as well as little, may he grant entrance and exit in the underworld, without repulse at the gates of the underworld to the Ka of Osiris Ani. Plate 37. Hathor, Lady of Amentet, dweller in Urt, Lady of Tassert, the eye of Ra, dweller in his brow, face beautiful from the boat of millions of years, the seat of peace for doing what is right and true among the favored ones, to make the bark of the sun great that sail forth the right and truth. Looks like that's it. That's the Egyptian Book of the Dead. E.A. Wallace Budge. The Papyrus of Ani. Transliteration and translation.